microphone. When he's not on the microphone, he's playing a song. And when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 91633.
So so tomorrow, hopefully at 9.
Yeah. On our way up. All the way up.
I have I booked this like 2 months ago with a friend of mine. Supposed to play golf this Saturday. My back right now is like a 9.5 out of a 10.
Oh.
Like I can still occasionally, but like none of the pain I had at all. And now I'm a little like, am I going to get out there and just shank my back?
Oh, shank the back.
Yeah.
The golf ball.
Well, I know I'm going to do that. I know for a fact I'll do that, Jason Ross. The day has already started with something that made me laugh very much. So, you guys remember like 2 weeks ago, and I was really mad because somebody stole my adapter on my headphones. You have the little one, the little plug, and then you put the big plug on top of it, and we have the big plug where I sit, the big headphone plug to plug into that. Well, somebody stole my adapter, so I only had the little plug on these headphones, so I had to use Alan's little hole to plug. There's no way to describe this without it sounding.
You have to use your thing to plug in.
Right. And that's like, I've been kind of like, who would, because I leave my headphones in their little bag in the corner, and I'm like, somebody had to go into my headphones, pull the adapter out. And it was one of those things where, it's just, it hasn't been bugging me.
Oh, also that bag you're using is mine.
What are you talking about? It is?
Yeah.
This?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Uh-huh.
Because I got a bag like this that came with these.
Yeah.
What? Are you sure? Because if it stupid.
I'm just making wild accusations.
Yes, you are. You got your bag right there. Thank you.
Here's mine.
Hey, how you doing? I was like, that is not something I would do because you. So I go to plug in my, and the time I think about it is every morning I plug in my headphones, and then there's just like a little thought of like, God dang it. Of course, I should have already gotten an adapter, but I haven't. So the wire that connects to my headphones also unplugged from my headphones.
Are you just now realizing?
And no, I knew that. No,
okay.
I knew that in case I want to wrap it up or whatever. So anyway, somehow I like accidentally like sat on the cord and it came out of my headphones. So I went to go plug it back in. And what I realized is that I can plug both the.
Yeah.
That's
what you're just realizing.
Hold on. I can't hear you.
That's what you're just realizing.
Still can't.
Hold on. Still can't hear you. I was trying to make a point.
And that's how we're both getting $1 million.
So I have two holes in my headphones. One, if I want to plug the big plug into my headphones to use a small hole to plug them in, or if I want to plug the small plug into my headphones for a big headphone hole. Right. Well, somehow they'd switched up, and I didn't know I could do that. So all these weeks, I thought somebody took my adapter, what really happened is, I don't know if this is making sense to people listening, is nobody took my adapter. I just had the big plug in my headphones and the small plug hanging out.
You switched holes.
I somehow switched holes.
I think I know when this happened.
When?
Because I remember you were saying that you didn't like what side it was on. And you said, oh, see the switches. And see if I go like this, and then you switch it over.
But I feel like I just switched my headphones over, so it was plugged in here. I know what you're talking about, but I had to plug the tiny one in here.
But I think that was around the same time. Like, why this feels wrong? Why does this feel wrong? That's on the wrong side.
You might be right. Yeah, you might be right. My goodness. Well, sorry.
And you were making some wild accusations at people.
I was not at people.
You grabbed Kyle by the shirt and threw him up against the wall.
Where's my adapter, Kyle?
I've never had Taco Bell.
We had our post-show meeting yesterday, which consisted largely of watching the Scott Perry press conference. Scott Perry will join us today at 8:40.
Yes.
If you have any makeup actually, watching the press conference, I was just watching it for two reasons. A, for the obvious one, want to see what he has to say. And B, going, well, what wasn't asked? Or what would I like to follow up on? What should we follow up on today? So
You did a pretty good job.
I thought
Covered
so.
a lot.
Covered a lot. I did cover a lot. And so we'll talk to him at 8:40 for y'all if you have questions that you have or that you'd like followed up. And by the way, let me stop you real quick. Okay. Here's questions not to ask. Here's questions that aren't going to get asked, so don't waste your time typing. Are you keeping DeMontis Sabonis? Hey, the thing you said about Zach LaVine, like, do you still feel that way? Or are you going to trade him?
That was asked, but not in
But
that
not
way.
in that, exactly.
Yeah.
What trades are you going to make? Are you going to get a draft pick? You know, hey, that Vivek guy, he's not great, right? Yeah, like, don't. You know.
How often do you get confused with Steve Perry?
I'm sure all the time. Mark Nash has a great idea. Trade Malik Monk for Dyson Daniels. Well, I agree with that. Mark, love you, but Atlanta would. Here's what Atlanta would do if you called. If you called offering Malik Monk for Dyson Daniels, the first thing the new Atlanta GM would do would be like, "Is this candid camera? Are you having?" That's no disrespect to Malik Monk, but you're not getting Dyson Daniels from Malik Monk.
Wow, he's turned into that good, huh?
Man, I think Dyson Daniels.
They gave him away. New Orleans did.
They really did.
Well, maybe not.
That gave him away, but
Yeah.
Dyson Daniels is
I did not realize.
the Great Barrier Thief.
Okay.
You know who Dyson Daniels is going to be? Nate McMillan. That's what I think. He's going to be Nate McMillan.
And you wouldn't trade Malik Monk for Nate McMillan?
I would. I'd 100% trade Malik Monk for Nate McMillan.
Oh.
I don't.
You wouldn't trade Nate McMillan for Malik Monk.
Look, I don't want it to sound like I'm ripping Malik Monk. Does it sound like I'm ripping Malik Monk? I'm not trying to rip. No, I just don't think Malik Monk is the caliber of value that Dyson Daniels is. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think so. I think Dyson Daniels is everything Matisse Thybulle could be if Matisse Thybulle had any semblance of offense whatsoever.
Yeah, and I think there was a time where people like, no one can ever get Matisse Thybulle, and now we're a few years later, and it's like, he never got better offensively, and he's been hurt a lot, and is he as dominant defensively?
And to be fair,
but things change on every player.
And let's just take a quick look. I want to, anytime you raise an eyebrow at me, it makes me raise an eyebrow at myself.
No, I'm just. I think it's an interesting question.
Daniels averaged. Daniels turned 22 in March. He's averaging 14.6 boards, 4.5 assists. By the way, that's already like double the career of Matisse Thybulle offensively.
That's a really good year.
49%, 34%. 59% from the free throw.
Oh, foul him.
Daniels. Meow. And averaging an even 3 steals a game. See, that's the thing. That's why
the defense.
Age. It's 100% the defense and age. Yeah, Malik Monk's a better offensive player than he is. But if you just turned 22 and you're averaging 14, 6, and 4.5, and you play that kind of defense, see, for me, Dyson Daniels has like let's put it here. Let me get a little crazy on you. Like Heart. Is that Heart crazy on you? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Push back on me here. factoring in salary, so you'd have to make it match. I think if you offered Atlanta Domantas Sabonis for Dyson Daniels and whatever else to fill that, I think Atlanta would say no.
Oh, wow.
I do. I think they would. I could very well. I'm not dying on that hill, but I'm just trying to.
Yeah, new GM coming in, so maybe that's different for them and the Kings, obviously. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, hell, maybe we should bring up Scott Perry.
There you go.
Scott,
first trade offer we got for you.
If you were the Atlanta GM, you know who Atlanta could use, though, is Zach LaVine.
There you go. Let's bring that up, too.
Zach LaVine for Dyson Daniels and whatever else they want to throw at us. And you know what? I'd even attach a first rounder in the future for that. Yeah. Feeling good today. Feeling magnanimous. Feeling, whatever. A couple of updates. No raccoon this morning.
Good.
But it did remind me of when the mouse is in my house or the rat, because as I did have to go back out to my car today to get some papers and not those kind of papers, paperwork. And I was like tiptoeing around the corner. And then I like unlocked my car with a little boop because I was thinking, well, if it's what I don't want to do is like have it be underneath the car where like the neighbor cat is always, because it's warm, and then have it like be like, I'm a raccoon. So no raccoon this morning. Also, Jason took your advice, and last night we had a dinner of pepper steak.
Oh, and
egg foo young. Made egg foo young, made pepper steak.
I said the pepper steak part.
You did. I wanted a side. So we did pepper steak over rice. I added in, I did the peppers with the steak, but I also added in a little bit of broccoli heads and a couple of mushrooms, and then put that in the little gravy that it made over rice. And then, look, just let me take a moment. I know we got a break here. I just want to take 30 seconds to talk about egg foo young. Egg foo young, I think, is an incredibly intimidating thing for some people. I cannot tell you how easy it is to make. And by the way, if you make it right, it's kind of healthy. I spent $5 at the store to get a little pack of not the tiny bay shrimp; those are gross, but like bless you, a thing of peeled deveined shrimp. Now you can use shrimp, you could use pork, you can use whatever, but chop up the shrimp, roughly chop it up. $1 for a bag of bean sprouts. Took half of that, chopped those up. A shallot and really finely chopped up some mushrooms. And I have a family of 4, so I cracked 8 eggs, mixed them all up. You put some soy sauce, some fish sauce if you have that, or oyster sauce, a little bit of hoisin, black pepper, and a little bit of cornstarch because it fluffs it up. Mix it all up so it's scrambled eggy, right? But it's going to look a little brown because of the soy sauce. Throw in the veggies, mix all that up, and then a little bit of oil in a pan. Ladle. It's basically an Asian style pancake, and then you take 2 cups of water, put a couple things of chicken bouillon in there, boil it, throw in a little soy sauce in there too, but you mix some cornstarch in with the soy sauce to thicken it up. That's egg foo young. It's so good. It's so good. It's so easy. Try it at home. Jason, I think you should do it this week.
Shrimp's a deal breaker for me.
So I say you first off, you don't have to use any proteins, but also if you have leftover whatever, you can pork. Hell, I think you could probably chicken would be weird. Don't just make it a veggie.
Why would chicken be weird?
Because chicken and egg.
What came first?
Weird to me. I don't know. I just don't chicken.
Eat fried chicken.
Which has egg in the batter, but that's different. It's not like fried chicken covered in an omelet. I know ingredient wise it's close to that, but I don't know. I'm eating the chicken and the chicken baby together. It feels cannibalistic. I don't have a logical explanation. We got to break. I do have a logical explanation, but we have to break and we don't have time for it. We'll save it for another day. Today is a very, very big show for you. I know I say that all the time. It legit is a very big show for you. Kelly Brothers makes his regular stop by at 7:28.
Good at business.
Sam Amick's going to have all the breakdown of the Kings, the playoffs, everything. Monty McNair's exit.
I know I'm shamelessly pumping the poll here.
Scott Perry's entrance. Also, we haven't talked to him since the player poll came out that he was a big part of. So Sam's at 8:00. At 8:43, Scott Perry himself will join us, or at 8:40, I should say. We'll probably get that early. So listen, it's a really big show.
It is.
Hang out, relax, and bring the energy today, everybody. my friends at American Energy Heating and Air do all the time. Let's wait for the hammer. Hello. Carmichael, dang, Dave, you used 8 eggs for one meal. Must be nice to be rich. Okay, that's a great point. Carmichael Dave here from my friends at American Energy Heating and Air. And hello, hi, how are you? Look, the weather has been phenomenal lately, although a little nipply this morning, a little chilly, but it's been fantastic. Soon enough, don't need to tell you, oh my God, it's gonna suck. It's gonna be so and so hot. Look, American Energy Heating and Air has been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. They got an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. And does this all sound familiar? Because I say it every day. Yeah, you gosh darn right it does. Get your air conditioning unit checked out. Get it tuned up if need be. It's going to save you the money all summer long because you need that sucker to work for you. Here's what you don't want to do. You don't want it to go out when you're entertaining on July 4th and you got to wait 5 days because everybody else's AC went out. And all you had to do was get that thing tuned up in advance so you would know what the issue is and you can take care of it before it happened. So make sure that happens with American Energy Heating and Air. Use them. Like I do, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990, AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, make the uncomfortable comfortable. 30 seconds, we're back, leading off next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Let's do it.
Leading off, the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
First of all, the one thing I want all the players here to do, I want to buy each player a mirror, because at first we're going to look at ourselves, and that starts with me each and every day. And so there's going to be an accountability first and foremost, that am I doing everything as an individual to make this team successful? And then whoever we have in here to coach, it's going to be their job, and I'm going to be behind the scenes helping to make sure that we maximize what they can do on the court. So Keegan is still a young player. I'm very confident in what he can be. I've spoken to him like I've spoken to all the players already, because that was one of the most important things for me to do that. And I think he'll be just fine, but he knows he's got to come in here and work, earn everything he gets. And the teams that I've been a part of, and I spent a long time with the Detroit Pistons, as you well know, and that team was built on accountability, was built on toughness, was built on defense, and was built on a team first attitude. So when players come in this building and when staff come in this building, starting with me, when I get out of my car and they get out of their cars, we're leaving our personal agendas and egos inside those cars. When you come inside, it's about the collective.
That's Scott Perry yesterday at his press conference. We'll talk about that more at length a little bit later. And we might actually do it next. I don't know why I put Rockets Warriors next. We should be talking about the Scott Perry presser. Don't you think, Jason? I feel like that's a mismanagement on my part. Agree or disagree? I have us talking about Rockets Warriors in the next segment. Should we be talking about Scott Perry?
Whatever you'd like.
Well, it's a showocracy.
I'm just looking down the sheet here.
It's not a showtatorship. Well, because then we don't talk about it really until we have Scott on at 8:43, right? Other than with Sam Amick. Yeah, I think I'm shift on the fly here, unless you just.
And then maybe the Warriors at 7:43.
Yeah. I think you're right, Jason. I think that's why your end of the rundown is better than mine. I always say eight. I do the first half, you do the second half, and the second half of the show always more professional and informative. First half of the show, egg rolls, good or bad. So I want to talk to Kings fans for a second, and I say this not as media guys speaking down to fans, as Kings fans speaking to fellow Kings fans. Can we stop about the press conference, please? Can we just stop? It's silly and stupid. Here's why. Did Scott Perry have a great press conference? Sure. I thought he came off fine. Lots of cliches, lots of platitudes. That's what a press conference is all about. Answered every question. But here's the thing. Scott Perry might be the worst GM we've had since Pete D'Alessandro. He might be the best GM we've had since Jeff Petrie. You know what's not going to determine that? A press conference. Right. We're going to talk about this later, Jason. I equate a general manager or a coach press conference. I equate that to post-draft grades.
Right.
It does. I don't care. I don't care what he said. I truly don't. We're going to talk to him today. It's interesting. Yes, you can pick up on philosophies and attitudes. And yeah, we want to know about the Vivek thing and this. Those are all fine. I'm not saying there's not worth, but what I see is people saying like, well, he said the thing. And then, that was the thing. What a cliche. It's like, dude, who cares? Show it, good or bad.
Right.
If he had come off, if people were saying, I promise you I'd have the same energy. 916-520-9990 beat you to it. I would have the same energy if people were like, oh my God, that was the greatest press conference I will run through a wall and light myself on fire for Scott Perry. Be like, dude, calm down.
Right.
I don't care what is said. I care what I see. And I think everybody else should feel the same way. Just actions. I'm tired of words.
I remember in Philly, Nick Sirianni had a really rough opening coaching press conference.
That's a hell of an example, Jason.
And a lot of people are like, is he going to even make it to the season?
Right.
Based on that.
Right.
He's won 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah,
right?
it's okay.
Does he have 2?
Yeah, he's got 2. And then the other side would be Adam Gase was following a bumblebee all around the place. Looked like he was absolutely methed out. And that didn't turn out well.
The critiques will be as we go along. The first trade, the first pick, the first free agent signing, the last one, the next one, the moves that are to be made, right? That's
right.
it.
Right.
I mean, but, it's the first time. It's the first it's a reintroduction, basically, because we did meet him before, but I thought he did fine. I thought he did well for what that was.
Right, exactly. It was fine. It was great. It was good. It was a press conference.
Yeah, to your point, though, if you gave him a 10 or a 1.
It doesn't matter. I don't care.
Right.
You know who I'm trying to think. I mean, Bill Belichick was so bad at press conferences that he actually became really good because it's Bill Belichick. But we can talk about all kinds of phenomenal GMs or coaches in all sports that suck at that stuff. They either don't like it or they're just not good at it. But then they go, I've watched Sam Presti's press conferences. I think they're incredibly interesting. I think a lot of people think they're incredibly drab and boring. I don't care. Oh, hey, he had a great press conference. Yeah. Who cares? So that being said, I just spent like 20 minutes talking about how I don't care about what Scott Perry says. He joins us at 8:40, and I do care about that.
Yeah.
That's where you're going to get the real info.
He also complained that we're not really talking about him today after spending about 10 minutes talking about
That's
him.
a good point right there. Okay, I'll wear that. I'll wear that. I'll wear it right.
You wear it well.
I'll wear it around my neck.
Who wore it better?
We'll get to that at 8:43. Number 2, please.
Cut number 2.
5:23 remaining, and we've got ourselves some extracurricular activities. And everybody, we got benches coming. We got people living off the bench.
That's not good. That's like suspensions for everyone.
You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players.
What is Tari Eason doing throwing a towel in the middle of that?
Oh, this is a hot mess. We're going to stay here because I have no idea how the hell we're going to break this up.
That pissed me off so bad. I'm sitting there, I'm watching with the wife and kids while we're eating dinner, and I'm just ranting. And it was one of those rantings where I know they don't care, and they're all just, when I get done, I look and they're just all staring at me like, what? So the towel was funny to me. It just landed around dude's face. I was so angry because something that, had it happened, would have been so bogus and lame didn't happen. How are all those players not suspended for a game?
Well, it hasn't happened yet.
Do you think it's going to happen? Because I don't, and I'm preemptively angry, and I hope I'm surprised. But I'll just bet, and again, I'll eat my words tomorrow, but I'll just bet you Nobody's getting suspended for that. And guess what? You leave the bench, you're suspended for a game. And I would hate that, and it would destroy game 3, and it would suck, and I don't like it. And by the way, if you asked me, do you want to keep or change that rule? I'd say change the rule, dude. I look, if they leave the bench, fine them, but don't make them miss a game. I hate the rule, but what I hate even more is when rules aren't enforced. When you just are subjectively like, well, we'll do it here, but we won't do it here.
Yeah.
So very interesting to see today, especially, by the way, who replaced Joe Dumars, or have they yet? As Mr. Suspension guy. Yeah,
I don't know.
So it's going to be Freddie Lichtenstein.
Yeah,
and,
busy day for Freddie.
Usually he's doing the accounting.
Right.
And now he's got to figure this out. It's a big thing for him. You got TV ratings. This is a phenomenal series. Yeah. This is a fun series. And there were all kinds of storylines last night from that. We'll get into that a lot later, but there better be some suspensions today, even though I hate the fact that anyone would be suspended, if that makes sense. All right, cut number 3 here. Oh, never mind. Not cut number 3. We're too late for cut number 3, so we'll take a break. When we come back, let's talk about Scott Perry last night. We got some sound for you. We'll obsess on his every word, contrary to what I said earlier. So let's all pretend to care, and meaning that everything he says means something. We'll do that next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA3 Weather Center. After a mostly cloudy start this morning for much of our area, we are going to see cloud cover decreasing and temperatures that will be warming only to the low 70s with winds from 10 to 15 miles per hour. Get the latest forecasts on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
At Elk Grove Honda, we've acquired some of the best pre-owned cars we can find. Whether you purchase a new Honda or a like-new pre-owned Honda, Elk Grove Honda has the right Honda at the right price. In the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard, or ElkGroveHonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Rock the Bells presents LL Cool J.
So what you got Chanel on your feet? Hot sex on a platter makes the mission complete.
Live in concert. LL Cool J.
Lisa, Angela, Pamela,
Saturday, May 10th. The venue at Thunder Valley with DJ C-Trip. LL Cool J. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss LL Cool J live.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers, plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us, plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Chargers sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Bring the whole family to Sutter Health Park for Sacramento River Cats baseball. It's more than a game. It's an experience your kids will never forget. Enjoy exciting action on the field, delicious ballpark food, and fun activities for all ages. From meeting Dinger the mascot To running the bases every Sunday, there's something for everyone. Create lasting memories with your family this season. Get your tickets at rivercats.com.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram and Woodland. Ram Truck Month, it's back. Chad, tell me about the deals happening at Hoblet.
Only Hoblet can get you a deal this good on the best selection of new Ram trucks. Right now, save up to $15,000 off MSRP on the new 2025 Ram 1500 Tradesman Sports. And with 500 new Ram trucks available, your perfect Ram is waiting for you at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center.
And aren't you the #1 Ram truck dealer in California?
Yeah, we consistently rank #1 in California thanks to our unique selection of Ram trucks. Plus, people love our new certified pre-owned super center with over 200 vehicles available and over 50 under $20,000.
There's only one thing to do. Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
15,000 total net savings after 10,000 factory rebates and 5,000 dealer discounts. Rebates include 8,000 West and National Consumer Cash, 1,500 Conquest dealer cash. Must own or lease Ford, Chevy, or GMC brand vehicle. 500 on the job upfit. Must show proof of $500 eligible upfit. 5,000 net savings. Sample VIN 616-182. See dealer for details.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sacktown Sports.
I was not informed on the calendar. I blame Chris, he's the producer, that today is MC in the chat is a victim day. He was responding to me talking about suspensions and being enforced and all that. He's like, enforce the rules on some people, but not others. From the guy that gets literally 10 times more leeway than anyone else in the chat. But I'm a victim.
Is MC the Draymond Green of the chat?
Ooh, applying chat members to athletes or real personalities is kind of a fun game. Like Chris Guerrero is kind of like the Dennis Rodman, but without the talent. What would MC be? I feel like MC would be because MC's not dirty. He's not. He's. I don't think he's malicious. There is value to him, and I like him.
But everyone in the chat is going, how does he keep getting away with this?
Yeah, not everyone. Campeo Silva's like he's like the chat mom. You know, everybody get along. Don't say that. Be cool. Let's move on.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
And then Zebra and MC are like they're like the odd couple. Like there's a mutual respect there, but they're just it's like, you ever see the thing where like there's the two dogs barking like hell, and then the fence opens and then the fence and they
sniff each other.
Yeah, they're always a second away from just going at each other's throats, and then backing off. MC is Kyrie Irving. I mean,
I'm guessing off the court, Kyrie Irving.
No. Who would Russell be? By the way, to everybody who's never been in the chat before, this is super compelling. Who would Russell be? Okay, without like all the bad stuff associated with it, why is it when I think of Russell, I think of Randy Quaid? Or he's just, every once in a while, he's just going to come out with something that is so off the wall. You're just like, dude, are you okay? Like, do you really, or do you think that, or is it a bit? Like he said that egg foo young is a struggle meal.
Oh,
I don't think egg foo young is a struggle meal. Foo young's fine. It's also not easy. You know, it's easy to make, but it's also not, you know what I'm saying?
8 eggs.
Yeah, man. 8 eggs these days. In this economy?
Right. I don't care about the egg foo struggling.
You're stupid. All right. Scott Perry. Initial thoughts?
I thought he answered everything. I mean, was it to everyone's liking? You're never going to do that. You're never going to prove that. You're never going to get exactly what you want to hear. We also have to remember there's certain things he literally can't say.
Right.
You know, as far as on players, as far as on, you know, for tampering and all that kind of stuff. I don't know where the windows are, but, you know, I think what I took away from it, what he really tried to convey was his experience. He's been around the league a long time. He has a lot of connections. And so I think he's trying to be a calming, stabilizing voice in an organization that has struggled. I mean, there's no other way around it. There was some brief success a couple years ago, but really for the large part of 2 decades, they haven't been successful. And so a guy who's been around the league, knows a lot of people.
Yeah.
And New Vivek had been here before, is trying to say, look, I got this. I think that was my takeaway. Now, again, I go back to what you opened the show with. It's basically about the upcoming results of what he does. It's really the evaluation. But from what he said and likely what I think he's going to tell us, I think that is the vibe I'm taking. Like, hey, I've been here. I've done this. I'll get it. I'll get it right. Now, will he?
Who knows?
Yeah, that's to be determined. But I think he trusts himself. I think he's confident, but not in a way like, get out of my way. No one else. But it seems like he wants to be collaborative. I think he has ideas going in. And even like on the Doug Christie question, like he didn't firmly answer it. Some took that. I saw some people like, oh, Doug's gone. And others went, oh, that's Doug's job. And I went, wow. He said one thing and people took that in each different way. So I think that's a good example of people interpret things differently.
You said something at the very beginning, bringing, and paraphrasing, but bringing a sense of calm. Seems like every GM we've had come in has.
That's been their goal.
That's been their goal. A sense of calm, a sense of stability. So actually, I should write this down. I think one thing I'd love to ask him is, honestly, I'm writing a note here because I had some thoughts, but now you never know. Scott, pretty much every GM has come in that way. So obviously, if that's a recurring issue, have you yet determined what the issue is as to why there's always some sort of sense of disruption? And how do you solve that? And I think I know the answer. I think you know the answer. I think we know the answer. But I'm very curious. Obviously, Scott's going to be like, well, the owner needs to quit meddling or whatever. It's not going to say that. But I'm very split on two things, Jason. I'm very, very, very split. On two things specifically. Number one, part of me is really bothered by the fact that Scott Perry already worked here for 3 months. He worked under Vlade. Is he just an extension of that regime? Is he going to be a Vivek yes man? And why didn't we do a proper GM search? And had you ranked the 10 GMs available, whether currently employed and available or just available, where would Scott Perry have ranked on that list if you had all the other GMs do a vote? Where would Scott Perry have ranked on that list? Probably not top 5. No disrespect to him. I'm just thinking maybe I'm wrong. So that bothers me. On the other hand, I go, but the other voice, I go, well, but hold on a second. What if he is a guy that has worked here before and has shown the ability to work with ownership, to work with them? He knows them. He can speak their language, but also they trust him enough to have autonomy and to do his thing. Maybe it's actually a really good thing that there's familiarity, so we don't have to go through these weeks and months of, do I trust you? Do I not trust you? How do we work around this? That's already there. So maybe this is a great thing. The other thing is Doug Christie. I'm really torn on this. Personally, I admit, maybe even more than being a Kings fan, just personally, I totally admit I'm torn. I do not have a clear vision on this. I'm not speaking wide-eyed. I love Doug. I'd love for Doug to continue to really see what he can do with a training camp and a full roster. Personally, I hope Doug keeps the job. If I pretend like I don't know Doug from Adam, part of me is really worried that keeping Doug Christie was a prerequisite to Scott Perry coming here, which is the exact opposite of what you should be doing. And I'm going, okay, well, if they keep Doug, I'm going to be happy because I care about Doug and I want him to get that. And by the way, and he might be a really good coach. I don't want to insult him by saying personally I like him, but he might be a great coach. But if they don't keep him, there will be a part of me that goes, okay, I hate that he's gone. I feel bad for him and I hope he gets a job. But But now I know that wasn't a prerequisite, and I actually feel that's a good sign.
Yeah, it's weird. I also took it this way yesterday when that question was asked about Doug, and he's like, I've talked to Doug. I've known Doug since, he's a player in Toronto. So that kind of gives you Scott Perry's background, how far he's been involved in this league. But he's liked his conversations. He said a lot of good things about Doug, but he also said, look, a lot of people are calling him in interest in the job. So part of me took that as kind of what we all think. If there's a directive, take the job because Doug is the next head coach. I immediately went, well, isn't it a little bit of a misdirect if you kind of just wait and say, I'm now here. I've surveyed. I've talked to Doug. Oh, yeah, I got 15 calls from other coaches that were interested. I'm choosing Doug Christie. My mind went there like, oh, that doesn't seem as much of it was take the job because Doug is the head coach. I looked at it and waited, and I go, I don't know if I'm reading too much into that and going, that's like a smart, like, hey, let's buy some time, make it look like I don't even know unless they make it look like there's a search, but you know what I mean.
I'll counter. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'll counter your counter.
That was just a thought I had.
No. And it might be the right thought. I would say as we go to break here, devil's advocate would say, dude, like 2 people have called and nobody cares and nobody wants this job. And the ones that do have other job openings. You're saying that because you guys had a meeting and you don't want it to appear like Doug was the incumbent. So we're going to do a little thing and wait a week or 2 and do an evaluation.
Right.
And then in the end, it's going to be Doug and people are going to buy it because they'll think we did some search and, oh, Doug ended up being the winner and you're patronizing us.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's true either.
Right.
I'm saying if I was a PR guy and I was working for Vivek, I probably would suggest something like that, even though some fans are going to think what they think anyways.
Absolutely.
But at least you have the appearance. We'll take a break when we come back safe. Or Logan Webb finally got some support. Lawrence Butler had a sort of funny statement about Nick Kurtz. And speaking of the A's, how about that offense? We'll get to all that next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Alan Stiles here with your Sacktown Sports injury update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Second baseman Zach Geloff, out with that fractured right hand, has started up baseball activity, including fielding grounders and throwing. He has been cleared to start a hitting progression, and the A's remain hopeful that he could return in early May. Ken Waldachuk, left-handed pitcher, out with that left elbow sprain, threw all fastballs in his last bullpen. He is targeting a return before the All-Star break. This injury report was brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Hey, I'm Alan Stiles. Have an injury? Call Downtown. Downtown LA Law Group, an injury law firm, has many happy clients in Sacramento and the surrounding areas who have called Downtown. Get paid for your injuries from slip and falls or auto accidents. One of their most recent settlements was $1.5 million for a motorcycle accident. Have you had an auto accident? Call Downtown. Text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222 and visit them at calldowntown.com.
Save $12,750 off MSRP. Every new 2025 Silverado 1500 LT and RST 5.3 in stock at the Maida Chevy Silverado Supercenter. After all rebates.
And Maida Chevy still has one of the largest selections in the Sacramento area.
$12,750 off new Silverado exclusively at the Maida Chevy Silverado Supercenter. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Plus trading 2011 renewal. Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Well, the A's call-up of last year's first-round pick and 4th selection overall in the draft, Nick Kurtz, is not surprising, but his rise through the A's minor league system is pretty astounding. Kurtz has played in only 32 minor league games, but the numbers are eye-popping. A .336 average, 11 home runs, and 37 RBIs.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business.
It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. It's how retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing must-visit shops. And it's how healthcare offices become data-managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business.
Sacramento, get ready. The Sacktown Sports Live events calendar is packed with epic shows you won't want to miss. Classic rock bands, America takes the stage at Hard Rock Live Sacramento on May 9th. Then hip-hop legend LL Cool J brings the beats to Thunder Valley on May 10th. The Outlaw Music Festival rolls into Toyota Amphitheater on May 18th. And punk pioneers The Dam hit Ace of Spades on May 31st. June heats up with JJ Gray and Mofro at Ace of Spades on June 10th. Plus, country superstars Lee Brice and Walker Hayes at Ironstone Amphitheater on June 21st. Then it's 3 days of country fun at the Country Summer Music Festival at Sonoma County Fairgrounds on June 27th through the 29th. Get your boots ready for the Folsom Pearl Rodeo July 3rd through 5th. Then catch Cody Johnson at Golden One Center on July 18th and Parker McCollum at Ironstone Amphitheater on August 16th. Mark your calendars, grab your tickets, and don't miss out. Find all the details at sacktownsports.com.
Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the best truck on the market, the 2025 Ram 1500. And that's not an exaggeration. It's proven. It's the 7th time Ram has won the Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Car and Driver named it one of its 10 best vehicles of 2025, giving it a 10 out of 10. And at J.D. Power, it's #1 when it comes to brand vehicle quality. And hey, yeah, all that's great. But where Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram really separates themselves from the pack is their car buying experience. Come on in and see for yourself why they say it's where a handshake still means something.
Safe or out? It's time to go around baseball. 3 pitches, 3 swings. It's safe or out on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Don't forget, Kelly Brothers, 728. Sam Amick, 8 o'clock,
Good
double
business.
segment. Sorry. Good
I know
business.
I'm shamelessly pumping the poll here.
Pump of the poll. And then Scott Perry at 840. For some reason, I don't know. I think it's because it originally on our text was 845, but Scott Perry's coming on at 840. We have a graphic out that we tweeted saying 845. So I don't know how we correct that, but say 40.
Just be listening.
Yeah, just listen the whole time.
Right.
Like,
Simple.
Right? Just listen the whole time.
Well, we're probably assuming you're going to be late getting into that break, so we'll probably be talking to him at 8:45.
What am I, Alan Stiles? I'm not late. Safe or out, question 1.
Logan Webb finally got some support, and the Giants beat the Brewers 4-2. Are these the type of games we should expect out of them?
Yes, but I'm more interested in this. You saw the other day when somebody beefed one while he was doing his press conference.
Judy.
Yeah, well, this was last night.
It's a decent change of hitting team.
Just in case you missed it, let's rewind.
We didn't miss it.
It's a decent change of hitting team. And then, yeah. What you got over there? Again? Jesus. Artificial. I think it's a joke. Artificial.
Yo, get out of here.
Somebody brought a machine.
Clever.
The last press availability, Logan
Not
did.
a machine.
But okay.
Or was it?
That's what I'm thinking now. Was the original also a machine? I need to know that answer.
Or someone's a machine.
If the first one was real,
yeah,
and then he comes out, has a great game yesterday, and then this one is fake, and he doesn't have a good game the next one, does that mean we need to get someone farting in front of Logan Webb?
Every team has a theme. A lot of teams do.
Every single thing that every fan does at home or at the stadium makes a direct impact in the game.
If what was the team that every time somebody hit a home run, they did like the picture in the dugout, and then there was another guy that like rode something in the dugout. Like sometimes teams will pick up traditions that they create. This would be the greatest thing since my Giants drafted Buster Posey out of Florida State. If these Giants if the theme this year could be farting during press conferences, oh my God, I'm back. I'm back to baseball. I'm back on board. That is the type of chemistry you need to have.
Thinking of the slogans, hum baby.
Hum baby.
And then it is high. It is fart. It is out of here.
Adios, Pulota. Yes, I'm here for all of that. So yeah, we should expect games like that. Logan Webb,
From Logan Webb,
yeah,
for sure.
absolutely. Yeah. Logan Webb's so good. Even if he wasn't from Rockland,
right?
I'd still think he's so good. By the way,
Kings fan.
How have we never had him on the show?
Great question.
Come on, Logan. Come on, Logie.
We can have him on and then just play.
Oh my God, that's exactly what we would do. As we welcomed him in, we just have it in the background.
Yeah.
Wait, we would keep doing it until he noticed it. That's exactly what we'll do.
Yeah.
We'll keep doing it until he says something. I know somebody is related to Logan Webb that listens to this show.
Yes.
I know it. Can you look? I
have him call in.
We follow each other on Twitter. I try to DM him. He responded once, and then he'll usually say something about the Kings when they lose to me.
Yeah.
But I've asked him, can somebody, a dad, a mom, a sister, a brother, can somebody call Logan Webb and say, dude, the guy's really, you've never been on the show. Could you come on?
Yeah.
We love you, huge fans.
We've got a salute for you.
Yeah, but don't tell him the other part. We want it to be a surprise. Number 2, please. No pun intended.
Lawrence Butler mentioned rookie Nick Kurtz wouldn't get the big league stadium part of his debut. Is he right?
Here's the audio from Lawrence Butler yesterday.
In Washington, it was pretty cool. I mean, just being able to step out.
The lead in here is that his Lawrence Butler's debut was in Washington.
In Washington, it was pretty cool. I mean, just being able to step out into a big league stadium for the first time. Obviously, he won't be able to experience that, but I mean, it's still a cool feeling, just playing a first big league game.
I think that was incredibly innocent. He wasn't trying to rip the stadium or anything here. I think he was just stating a fact. It's not a big league stadium, so it's a little bit different. But then you heard him follow up and say, but it's still cool. You're playing a major league game. And by the way, guy gets up to the plate a year after playing college baseball and slaps a hit.
From being there, he got an incredible, I thought the knowledge of the people that were there, he got a standing ovation and went, whoa.
Hey.
And when he was introduced, people went nuts for him.
Yeah.
Went, okay, they know who this guy is. And everybody was excited. And, I think it's all perspective. Maybe he opens up at Yankee Stadium. Okay, huge crowd. Maybe he opens up in the Marlins, and it's a big stadium.
Right.
4,000 people there. So everybody has a different experience. That was his, and he got a hit. At one point in his career, he was batting 1,000. He will never do it again.
What if he retired
after the hit?
After the hit,
1 for 1 with an RBI,
just walked off.
Yeah,
I'm good.
That's it.
I wonder if, in all the years of baseball, if anybody's ever retired with a 1,000 batting average, or for any reason, they got hurt,
or they got one call up and got a hit, and that was all the only time they made it to the majors.
Right, and they never got back up. And then
I bet someone has that.
30 years later, they're a doctor in some Minnesota town, and some dude stops by, says he's got a cornfield in Iowa, wants to give him a chance to play again. What a cool story that would be. Yeah. Safer out. Question 3, please.
Is it really a standing ovation if it's 7 people? Oh, sorry. Question number 3.
That's not true. That's just fake news.
Thank
Chris.
you. You were there.
Fake news.
How was it, Jason? How was the atmosphere?
Honestly, I've got stories from last.
Oh, you do?
I met from the chat Ron at the game.
What?
Yes. I saw and ran into in person in the wild former staff member from this station.
You don't want to tell me on the air, or do I want me to guess?
See how far it'd take you guys to guess.
We're gonna need a hint. There's a lot of former staff members.
Very recent. We talked about this person.
Nate?
Yeah.
Hey!
Nate Littlefield.
Wait, he was at the game?
Yes.
Who was doing the radio?
Someone else.
Did he look stressed out?
Not at all. He looked to be having a great time. Saw Jock Peterson break his 0 for 43.
That's
Saw
right.
Mason Miller, and the intro is incredible at night. Lights go out. Mason Miller comes in, flames on the
Look
scoreboard.
At that.
Red lights come on. I'm like, whoa, what is this? And he comes in just shoving it.
And you didn't know what it looks like because they've always been losing in the 9th at home.
I've been to all 3 wins, Chris. I don't know.
Can I just say for the future, I'm not scolding you, but I just some constructive criticism. I talked about egg foo young and a raccoon in the open. I just assume that the opens, like I just have random stuff. If in the future, I'm happy to shut up and let that open, because if you had stories from last night, those stories should have been. Those are better stories than what. That's a good point, and we have a bigger audience. Yeah. No, you're right. Okay.
Shout out to AA Ron.
Shout out to AA Ron. Does he look like I think he does?
You know, it's funny. His buddy said I was going into the game with my brother, and his buddy says, "You guys," meaning me and AA Ron, could be brothers. And I'm like, "Well, that's my brother."
Oh, wow. Well, maybe you guys all are.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Well, aren't we all related?
We are. We're all brothers. We'll take a break. When we come back, hey, NFL draft is, that's happening tonight. Niners, Raiders, Shedeur Sanders, and all the storylines. We'll get into it next.
The only place you'll find Keegan Murray is Sacktown Sports.
Out to Keegan Murray, straight away for three, and Keegan knocks down the triple.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Keegan Murray, and you're listening to the home of Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Let me tell you about the great people at Overhead Door Company of Sacramento. Spring is here. Good time to evaluate your home situation if you're doing that spring cleaning. And when you kind of take a look back, when you were, imagine just driving up to your house, how does your home look like? And a lot of things that people check out first, or they see first, is your garage. That is the curb appeal you're looking for. And for us, it wasn't the number one priority for us on our list, but it became a byproduct of getting the brand new doors from the Overhead Door Company of Sacramento. We needed new doors. We had old, antiquated garage doors that we literally have had since we moved into the house and were there before us. It's a very, very old house. We had to lift open the garage doors, had a lock on it and everything. So very, very old situation for us. Now, the functionality of having a brand new doors that look great, have windows at the top, just a sleek look, improve our curb appeal, but the functionality was our number one priority. Hit the button, these quiet, smooth rolling doors roll open. We can open it from the keypad on the side, from the app. It's perfect for us, but the curb appeal is a win for us, and the return on investment. Oftentimes, it's one of the most cost-effective upgrades to increase your home value. So there's so many side stories to getting the new doors from Overhead Door Company of Sacramento. You can see for yourself, see the selection at the showroom on 6756 Franklin Boulevard, and do ask about the Sacktown Sports Special. Check out, or call them, at 916-421-3747. Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, the genuine, the original overhead door. Always look for the red ribbon logo.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler, Let the gobbler get it.
Spring is here, and that means gigantic savings for all your oil change needs at Jiffy Lube today. Get a $25 gift card with the purchase of any Pennzoil Platinum full synthetic oil change through May 31st at your local Jiffy Lube service center in the greater Sacramento areas. And don't forget about the additional $30 off online coupon at jiffylube.com. Terms apply. Valid email address required. See pennzoil.com/rewards for details. Jiffy Lube, huge spring savings for you today.
Sun is shining, the chairlifts are spinning. That's right, stellar weather here at Palisades. What are you waiting for? Hop in your Toyota and head on up here. I'm Johnny Mosley, and this is your Thursday Toyota Tahoe Report.
Thanks, Johnny. Mostly sunny today with a high of 57. Tonight, clouds will roll in with a low around 38. And tomorrow, a chance of showers with a high near 51. And snow levels of 6,800 feet. This report is brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Whether you're shaping up a small yard or tackling serious acreage, Steel walk-behind zero-turn and stand-on mowers are built to get the job done. Shop online or at your local Steel dealer. Steel, let's go mow. Available at participating dealers.
Disturbed. Live. Oh, wow. Get up, come on, get down with the 25th anniversary of the 5-time platinum album, The Sickness. 2 sets, 1 show, The Sickness in its entirety, and greatest hits with special guests, Daughtry, and nothing more. Friday, May 9th, Golden One Center. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Disturbed. Live.
KHD HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento, from the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then
boom, with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
You know, we sometimes have chat line versus text line, and every once in a while the text line will win, but most of the time it's our chat in the YouTube. I'm going to tell you right now, the chat line has already lost. And would you like to take a guess at the area code that lost it for them?
Oh, you mean the text line?
On the text line, yeah.
I'm going to be disappointed because the 209 has been doing pretty good on the text line recently.
Till today. With absolutely no irony whatsoever, Dave, I have a question. I'm going to a wheelchair basketball game tonight. If something really good happens, is it offensive to give somebody a standing ovation? Like, what are we doing? They've lost. That's it. Chat line wins. Text line suspended for 5 days. Nobody texted 916-339-1140. Speaking of incredibly inappropriate things, the draft is today. These are real graphics provided by ESPN on past players. This is not a bit. It's the get to know you graphic. I want to stress I'm not doing a bit. Laviska Shenault Jr. You've heard of him, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
DeSoto, Texas. Hobbies include video games and Sudoku. Spent time volunteering in high school to honor local veterans. Mother, Annie, contracted and survived West Nile virus in 2012. Okay, that's a little over the line, but, whatever. Trayvon Diggs, Gaithersburg, Maryland. His brother, Stephon, Bills wide receiver. Brother, Marshawn, former XFL quarterback. First NFL game attended, the Minneapolis Miracle. Father Aaron died in 2008 of heart failure. It's literally on the graphic, Jason. That's not the worst. T. Higgins, Clemson wide receiver, hometown Oak Ridge, Tennessee, finalist for the 2016 Tennessee Mr. Basketball Award. Sister Kiki played basketball for Middle Tennessee State. Mom, Camilla, fought drug addiction for 16 years. I would just like to say to ESPN, because I know they listen, who clears those? Like 3 separate times. It's okay to not put something horrifically tragic or problematic in the get to know you. Now, look.
Especially on what is going to be the best day of their lives.
The best day of their lives. Right. Now, if it's something that's like, here's where I think the line would be. If it's like Freddie Johnson III overcame Marfan syndrome to become an all-world whatever, like that's inspiring.
Right.
Jonathan Smitherton, wide receiver, has 3 fingers on his left hand. Amazing. Like that. Those are things that are obviously not pluses in the person's life, but
but it's something they've overcome to
exactly
get to where they are. Yeah.
But here's where it's like borderline, like Daniel Grayson lost his parents when he was 3, raised by his grandmother. Now, look, that's kind of inspiring. Like, he overcame a lot of stuff, right? But also, that's something where, imagine the guy's whole family and himself, as Chris said perfectly, best day of their lives.
Right.
And then you're like, oh, like, yeah, I didn't want to be. I'm already emotional today. I'm already wishing they were here, blah, blah, blah. I don't.
But now everyone on the Bills knows that my mother was this or whatever. You're like, okay.
What was it too? And it's not even just the graphics. What was the famous one with Des Bryant? I think it was something about was your mother a prostitute or something? Does that sound familiar?
Or they were
right?
asking him those questions. Yeah.
And I understand. And by the way, I kind of get the psychology, although it's still weird and problematic, but I think the explanation was something like, we in our interviews try to ask players complete and total curveball questions to see their temperament and how they handle things that are unexpected. Right. I think that's a perfectly acceptable thing, but I feel like the question I asked you and Chris yesterday off the air, I'd rather ask something like that than, hey, your mother's this or what. You can come up with curveballs that aren't offensive.
Sure, absolutely.
Anyways.
Yeah, because that question wasn't offensive.
How's that offensive? That was a question. Anyways, the 49ers will be on the clock in not that long, shortly after the Raiders are on the clock. The Raiders picking with the 6th, the 49ers picking with the 11th. Opportunity for both teams, I think, in a little bit of a different position. The Raiders, obviously, it seems like they're trying to do like a good rebuild, if you will, and you and I have talked before. I really like what they're doing so far in a very short period, but all the moves they're making seem to be smart. Whereas the Niners, I think, are very much trying to reload, and compete for a Super Bowl next year.
Right, and they had such a disastrous year. They got to figure out, are they close enough to do that, to make a few tweaks and get right back there? I think that's what they're going to try to do, but that's going to be an important pick at 11 for them. Not, that's going to be one pick that's going to change everything.
Sure.
But they need to hit. They had a good draft last year. A lot of the guys that they picked last year had impact on this last year's team. They need to have another draft like that.
As of right now, it's all over the place when it comes to mock drafts for both these teams, to be honest with you. God, I don't know who the hell, what do you like, Will Campbell or somebody? There's somebody on the offensive line that the Raiders and Niners were both looking at. As of right now, like, for example, CBS Sports has the Raiders taking Kelvin Banks Jr., offensive tackle out of Texas. Junior, 6'5", 315.
Wow.
How does anybody get past that guy? Imagine Eric Armstead go. Remember when we were just talking about how huge Eric was? Imagine those two bodies smashing together. Somebody's trying to get the quarterback. And then it has the Niners taking Mason Graham. This is CBS Sports. Michigan Junior, 6'3", 296, defensive lineman. There's also the opportunity too, and I'm always, to be honest with you, Jason, I'm highly biased towards these, and I don't really have anything to back it up. I love it when, I said this yesterday, when teams take offensive linemen, because it seems like the disciplined, not flashy, smart thing to do. I also like it when teams trade back for more picks. That also seems, for some reason, I'm attracted to the GMs that do the less flashy thing and the stability and smart, more darts at the dartboard type of thing. And in the NFL, probably, Jason, more than any other draft, that logic makes more sense because you're getting so many all-pro talents every year that are not drafted in the first round.
Yeah, and there's a lot of trading in the NFL draft.
Yes.
I feel like that happens a ton. It's like, oh, this team's moved from, they were picking 8th, they're now picking 17th because they're picking 17th and 33rd in this two-team swap. So draft, it's a long time. The one that always gets me, who's first on the clock? The Titans.
The Titans.
I mean, you have had months.
Right.
And months and months. Do you need your 15 minutes? Like, unless you're really, truly getting calls up to the last second.
I mean, isn't that?
Well, why wouldn't I have called? Like, I could call now. Like, all right, here's my final offer at 7:10 in the morning or 10:10 in Tennessee time. Like, all right, here's what we'll do. This is what I want to give you for the number 1 pick. You in? No? Okay. Or yes. Let's go. Let's make the trade.
So would the counter to that be, because I couldn't agree with you more. But let me ask you this. You're the GM of the Titans. And I'm the owner, and I'm asking you questions. Let's just say, let's set up this role play. And I say, look, you never know what conversations are going on throughout the league. So explain to me this. Why wouldn't you wait till, what is the negative of waiting till the last second?
There is none.
And I think that's what it is.
Right.
For you and me watching the draft, it's frustrating.
Yeah.
I think for the GMs, and they're like, well, what if some owner freaks out in the last 30 seconds and says, get that pick, I don't care what it costs.
But I also feel like, okay, so that example of everything for the last, probably let's just say 3 weeks, is you and I are the Titans decision makers. We've locked in on this play. We're good. You good? Yes, I'm good. Good. We're locked in. Decision. And then you get some deal where you're like, it makes you think.
Yeah.
I feel like then you're rushed. If someone calls with 3 minutes left on your pick and you're like, we've been here for 2 weeks. And now we have to make a decision in 3 minutes. I don't know. I think you just stick to what you got.
As we take a break, Shedeur Sanders has been thought of as a possible top 5 pick. As of right now, the draft favorite, the team to pick him, the favorite, are the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are picking 21st. So Shedeur Sanders may be falling down that board. We will take a very quick break. When we come back, he's good at business. He's Kelly Brothers. We'll have our regular sports business conversation with him. Don't forget Sam Amick at 8 o'clock, Scott Perry at 8:40, not 8:43. Thank you. We're getting to all the good stuff as we drive towards 10 o'clock in our conversation with, Alan Stiles. Well, what do you know? That's Hoblet's music, everybody. Carmichael Dave. 30-second break, by the way. Don't go away. No flipping. Ram Truck Month is happening right now at Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Want to remind you, the brand new Hoblet Certified Pre-Owned Supercenter is in historic downtown Woodland. That downtown dealership is now used cars with over 220 vehicles available, 50 under $20,000. And you got the all-new Hoblet Ram Truck Center. Save up to $15,000 off MSRP on select new 2025 Ram 1500 Tradesman Sports. $17,000 off MSRP on hard-to-find new 2024 Ram 2500 Bighorn Crew Cabs. And if you're in the mood for a Jeep, it's the Jeep Celebration Sales Event. $20,000 off MSRP on those new 2025 Jeep Wagoneer S's, the all-electric, luxurious Jeep Wagoneer. Impress your friends. Number 1 Ram truck dealer in California, number 7 in the whole U.S. of A. See Hoblet's true pricing. Unlike those big city and auto mall dealers, no dealer markups, no add-ons, no surprises. True pricing. What you see is what you pay at HobletDodge.com. Search, select, and save. And telling you good buddy Carmichael Dave sent you. Kelly Brothers, business, sports, coming up next.
Breaking: the Sacramento Kings and Scott Perry have finalized a deal for him to become the next GM of the Kings. Keep it here for up-to-date breaking Sacramento Kings news. Sacktown Sports 1140. 3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
When the show is over, I'm going to call my dad. And I'm going to ask him if when I was a baby, was I dropped on my head? I think I certainly was. What I meant was Kelly Brothers is coming up at 7:28. Why do I? What, you know what?
Was you on goofball pills or something?
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start doing what Jason does. When we get done with the segment, Jason puts a little check mark by the segment on the left side on our little rundown sheet. And that way, at a quick glance, he knows where we are at all times. I'm going to start doing that now because you're right. This is 3 for Madness.
Those are big check marks.
I need to be able to see them. What an idiot. Coming up with the Kelly Brothers, by the way. We're going to talk
Very
Kings,
soon.
Nike, and the effect of the Masters. And if we have time, how NIL is changing the economics of the NFL draft. In the meantime, Christopher Law, question 1.
What is worse, the pre-draft mock breakdowns or the post-draft grades?
I'm going to say that it's a good question, Jason. I'm going to say Jason wrote, by the way, I wasn't patting myself on the back. I'm going to say the post-draft grades because it at least the pre-draft mocks generally come with knowledge I don't have about these players that I can be more informed. Now, the mocks themselves are whatever silly, but also this is based on like a Mel Kiper Jr. or something. They're talking to people. It gives you a general idea. Oftentimes, as we talked about yesterday, Baker Mayfield, a great example. Sometimes they're going to be wrong. It's a large draft, so how the hell are you going to pick who goes at number 28? But at least I can get something out of them. I get nothing out of the draft grades, though I always read them.
Right.
Because I want to see that my team got an A. But I acknowledge that it's all surface satisfaction.
Yeah, I think it's clearly the grade's the worst part because it's just so unfair to the people that are doing it. A lot of editors and all that want you to put that kind of content out. So I think that's the worst. But the sneaky part about the mock drafts that bothers me is, okay, let's say you and I started doing that, like for every draft. We're like, all right, here's our mock draft. And then, and we can try to get as much information as we can and do our best to really work on it and label that. And then if a player goes 10 picks above or 10 picks after, someone read our mock draft and go, that's a terrible pick. That was way too early. Based on what? Some writer's opinion? Like that seems crazy. If a team wants a player, you want a player and go get him. Now we'll evaluate that later, whether or not you got that. So that's the only part I don't like about mock drafts is a lot of times people will jump to that and go, well, clearly they drafted that player too high. Again, that's because you read somebody's mock draft.
That's right.
Maybe all the internal GMs and scouts like, no, we had him rated way higher. I don't know why he was listed at 14. We had him on our board at 4. Well, then he's 4. So, but yeah, the grades are ridiculous. I don't like
the one time I saw the Kings get an A for their draft. Do you know who they got?
Probably Thomas Robinson.
Thomas Robinson.
Yeah.
Because, again, back to a mock draft, he was 2 on a lot of people's lists, and Kings got him at 5. So when you go value, wow, they got the guy at 5. Well,
I'm reading from a website that covers this team exclusively that gave a post-draft grade. This team seems very interested in going international, which isn't a surprise after some past success. This person brings an advanced post-game. However, will need to focus a lot on defense if he ever decides to come over to the States. This team will have to wait with him as well to develop. We don't know if he'll ever officially join the NBA, but I would give this pick a C+, since it's another pick that won't be playing next year. This is a guy named Nikola Jokic.
Oh,
yeah. I was switching sports.
No, I was thinking it was Papagiannis.
Oh, I feel like Jokic has risen above that C+. That's my opinion.
Dave, you need more time.
Need more time. Yeah, it's not.
Fair.
Yeah, it's not over yet. Yeah. Number 2, please.
Question 2.
Lawrence. Nope. That's the route.
You need check marks too, dude.
Assuming the Kings don't have a pick this year, how much does that curb your interest in the draft itself?
How much does that curb my interest? How much does that curb my enthusiasm with the draft? It curbs it, but I'm a honk. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch the whole thing. I'm gonna look to see who's picked where and what's up and what they say about him. By the way, maybe the draft day trades have happened before.
Yeah.
Let's not lie. But if there is, I think the best things about being a crap team, and Kings fans have a ton. We are like the Boston Celtics and LA Lakers fan bases of being crap teams.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just a commitment to excrement. We are pros at this. The best parts of sucking, to me, have always been the draft lottery, the draft, and then summer league.
Mm-hmm.
The draft lottery, because you never know.
Right.
The draft itself, obviously, the payoff. And then summer league, are these guys going to dominate, and how are they going to look next year? Without a first-round pick this year, and we're a crap team, or at least, we didn't make the playoffs, so whatever. That part stinks. I hope Devin Carter plays in summer league.
Yeah, that would be a big difference.
I really hope
he
does.
should.
I 100% think he should, unless if they think it's going to exacerbate an injury that needs rest. I get it, but then you've got other questions. By the way, I would hope so, and then you never know. You never know what's got. We could have a trade by then, and we could have 3 first-round draft picks.
Right.
We could have a new boat. I don't know, but yeah, I'm still watching, but I'm not as crazy about it.
I don't remember if the NBA is doing it again this year, but last year they switched the draft to day 1 and day 2.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of that.
You want them all at once?
Well, it's 2 rounds. It's nice and compact. The NBA does a good job of getting everything done in a relatively timely manner. The NFL is round 1 today, rounds 2 and 3 tomorrow, then 4 through 7 on Saturday. I mean, it's a long, lengthy process. If it's just 2 rounds, and especially if the Kings aren't picking to the second round, I don't think the second round is as alluring as the first for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I wasn't a fan of the 2-day separation, but if they have it that way and the Kings only pick in the second round, I'm watching it. I liked it all in one day.
I think my favorite thing about the second round almost always was, and Adam Silver doesn't really get this nearly as much, but the crowd would just lose it on David Stern, and it became a thing.
And he milked that.
He milked it so much, hand to the ear, whatever. And then Adam Silver would come out. It's now Mark Tatum, and they just go absolutely nuts. I think they still love Mark Tatum. I think Adam Silver gets a mixture, but he didn't get it like David Stern.
No, not at all.
Number 3, please.
Question 3.
Same question, but this time talking about summer league.
Yeah, I kind of stepped on that answer. Sorry, but true. We got to get out anyways here in a bit. Seriously. Summer league, let's take, for example, when Marvin Bagley was drafted.
Mm-hmm.
So you had the number 2 pick in the draft. Yes, a lot of us were disappointed about Luka Doncic, but hey, we got Bagley, and it wasn't ever. I don't want to do retcon here in an incorrect way. I don't think much, if really any portion of the fan base was like, Marvin Bagley sucks. It was more like, he's not Luka Doncic. Right. We should have drafted Luka Doncic. Once that was done, you're still kind of pissed about that. But you're excited about Marvin Bagley. Sure. He broke a ton of ACC records. He was damn near barely 18 years old. Cal Classic. The dunk over Mo Wagner. And then let's go on to Vegas. And we went down to Vegas. It's always fun. It's hot as hell. Yeah. But do some broadcast down there. Talk to the players in Summer League. You get a lot of access to them and the coaches. Everything's a little more mellow. It's a thing, especially it's an oasis in the desert, weirdly enough, of no basketball, and something in July that you do, and it gives you a little taste of basketball, and then a break, and then you come back and the season starts. Well, we'll cover it this year, assuming there's no first rounder. We'll pay attention to it. But nowhere near what we would if we had a nice lottery pick to see how they did.
Yeah, but I think I'm with you. Like, if Devin Carter plays,
yes, who didn't last year, by the way.
I think that becomes very much more compelling about him and the way he plays and the way this team's played. And look, they've won some championships in Vegas.
2. I have both shirts. Victory in Vegas, the blue one led by Ben McLemore, and then I forget what the theme was for the other one, but that was it.
Well, it was Off Night. Davion.
Yeah, Davion's the one.
Getting the job done.
We'll take a break. When we come back again, for those of you just joining us, we have got a massive second half of the program, starting with Kelly Brothers making his regular stop by here at 7:28. We got Sam Amick at 8 a.m. And then Scott Perry will join us, the new Kings GM, fresh off his warm-up, I like to call it. You can call it a press conference. I think it was a warm-up for this show. He'll join us at 8:40. Kelly Brothers next, Sacktown Sports.
Live and local.
With everything 49ers.
Intercepted by Fred Warner. Dives for the end zone. Touchdown! San Francisco! Lob ball, Jones went up and caught the ball. Touchdown!
The 49ers play on Sacktown Sports 1140.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Fidium.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA3 Weather Center. After a mostly cloudy start this morning for much of our area, we are going to see cloud cover decreasing and temperatures that will be warming only into the low 70s with winds from 10 to 15 miles per hour. Get the latest forecasts on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
For your home internet, choose more speed and less frustration. Fidium Fiber Internet was built for reliability. It's perfect for streaming sports, watching TV, and working from home. Check out FidiumFiber.com for speeds up to 2 gigs.
Welcome to Staples.
Hi, I hear Staples prints it all.
Oh, you bet. Posters, banners.
Can you print it all for Mother's Day?
Oh, of course. Photo gifts like canvas prints, photo puzzles.
Can you print it all for graduation?
Sure can. Custom cards and invites.
Can you print a huge banner with the grad's picture?
Oh, definitely.
Even an embarrassing baby picture?
Oh, those are the best kind.
I know, right?
Print it all for moms and grads at Staples. And right now, get 40% off custom cards, invites, and photo gifts. N75 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the lake or clean out your closet? RV wins! Putting the dishes away or taking the RV camping? RV wins! Cleaning the fridge or taking a trip to the beach? RV wins!
You might want to clean the fridge real quick because, mold.
We clean out the fridge, then take the RV out.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states and situations.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
It's Carmichael Dave talking to you about my good friends at American Energy. You're in the Sacramento area. You know how the seasons work. They are a-changing right now. So American Energy wants to help you stay warm for the rest of the cold season, but help you stay cool during the warm season. Best way to do that, make sure your system is operating safely. So right now is the time to take advantage of half off a tune-up, $24.50. They cut that right in half. And if you want a diagnostic, guess what? You can't be free. If it's free, it's me. And now it can be you. And also, it's the end of the season blowout. $4,000 off a new system plus any rebates. That $4,000, that's a direct drop from the sticker price. It's a great deal. Check them out at the aeway.com for an instant quote or give them a call at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Tell them your good buddy Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, is coming back May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, Cole Wetzel, Nate Smith, and more. You'll enjoy food trucks, rock walls, and a mechanical bull, line dancing, and more. Single-day GA tickets start at $52 at CITPFest.com. Country in the Park, May 16th and 17th with Diamond Pacific Supply and Trex, Michelob Ultra, and Carl's Jr. Find out more at CITPFest.com.
Joining us now on Sports Sense, certified financial planner Kelly Brothers. Kelly is an advisor with Cap Trust, one of the nation's largest registered investment advisors. Cap Trust counts among its clients numerous pro athletes and pro sports franchises, but most importantly serves many Northern Californians through comprehensive financial planning. Here's Kelly Brothers.
Oh, Kelly, can't you see? Good morning to our good friend, Kelly Brothers. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, Dave. Good to see you, my friend. Hey, little known fact about the brothers' backyard over here. You know who shot baskets out here maybe 7-8 years ago, honed his shot, which prepared him for this year. Peyton Pritchard played basketball in my backyard.
What?
Okay, that story. Story time with Kelly, please. How did that happen? That's random.
My nephew is great friends with him, was head manager of the Oregon basketball team when they were Final Four. And matter of fact, when they played in Sacramento way back in that day, whatever year that was, 17, 18.
Yeah.
But the year before that, Oregon didn't make it, and Peyton came home with Brian. I can't remember if it was spring break or Easter, but he came home for whatever their break was and ended up over here for a barbecue. They played basketball for hours out in the backyard, and boy, the Kings could use Peyton Pritchard, couldn't they?
Yeah. I hope you get I hope you're invited to the award ceremony.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, as I mentioned, he's sixth man of the year, which is unbelievable. But I think it was a month ago, he broke the record for most threes by a non-starter in the NBA, and it was long before the end of the season.
Did you play him horse against him at all?
I did. I just watched him play, but he's just he's a gym rat, man. That kid, he just loves to play nonstop, and great kid, and actually, I'll see him at my nephew's wedding here coming up, I assume, pretty soon as well. But anyway, just little known fact.
Safe to say that makes at least 2 backyards in the greater Sacramento area that have had baskets shot in their backyard by a 6th man of the year. Because I got to think somebody has had Bobby Jackson in their backyard at some point.
Oh yeah, Bobby Jackson has.
Peyton Pritchard. Yeah, exactly. The Kings hired a new general manager. He's going to join us here in just over an hour. But they also head into the offseason with a ton of questions, Kelly.
They do, and I don't know. I was really sad when we lost Mr. Perry the first time around. But guys, you know how it is. It all comes down to can Grandpa take his hands off the wheel? Can he not meddle? Can he get out of the way? That's the question. I have no doubt that these guys can do their job, but I don't mind telling you either. I wrote my first nasty email to the Kings after that loss, and I wrote it to the latest one.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yep.
The Dallas loss. I just said, and I wrote it to the folks who help us with seats and with our loft and all sorts. And I just said, guys, your service is excellent. Couldn't say any. You guys couldn't be any better to us, but I assume someone in the Kings organization asks you, what are you hearing from season ticket holders? And I want you to have something to tell them. And that is the ending to this season was a disgrace. To lose to that team on your home court where you weren't even competitive after the first quarter and the other team is missing their best player. I just said, for the first time, I am questioning my investment in the Kings.
Wow.
What was the response?
Not much. Thank you for your comments.
Yes. See you next season.
I mean, what are they going to say?
I feel the anger out there. I know some of the minority owners who that's what they are. They are, Vivek. I don't know. He's such a, there's so many cross currents there. Yes, he saved the team. Yes, he built an arena. Yes, he got us the athletics for a few years, but man, he's got a low EQ. He does. The owners feel like they're completely. The other ones, of course, they're minority owners, but they just feel somewhat shut out. And he's the guy. I don't think he understands, guys, how much Sacramentans like Sacramento. So when you post something on social media from your airplane saying "love seeing the beam as I fly home every night," that just doesn't hit the way in Sacramento I think he thinks it does.
Or the A's having I think they completely underestimated. And by the way, I don't think this was Vivek's fault here, but not having Sacramento in the name, that's a huge thing to us. It's huge to have that type of acknowledgement. We're very proud of our city. We want we want other people to know how cool our city is to a point. And there is a lot. I think what you're saying is there's a lot of tone deafness about it.
There's a lack of EQ. There's not a lack of IQ. The man's very smart, but he can't put Sacramento's a profit center to him. Sacramento's a business experiment. It's not home. To make it worse in my mind, you got Mark Jones, great announcer, terrible Sacramento Kings announcer. He can't go a quarter without giving a subtle hint that I'm not from here, I'm not of here, and I'm on the first plane out of here when this game is over. Because all I hear is Miami and Florida, and I don't think Vivek gets that. He doesn't understand how beloved local institutions are here.
Talking with Kelly Brothers here on
firing bullets this morning.
Exactly. On Sports Business. Today's a big day for a lot of people. Today, tomorrow, and the weekend, Kelly, with the NFL draft. But curious, how much is that now different based on NIL, based on college economics into the NFL economics? Any differences we're now seeing as this is in its infancy?
Total. To think, guys, that there will be quarterbacks who make 4 times in NIL money this year what Brock Purdy made in the NFL last year is just astounding. So I think the way to look at it is this, because you do have some really good quarterbacks who've decided to stay. If you're a first rounder, if you're Caleb Williams, you're going to the NFL. You're looking at $35 to $40 million. But if you're a second or third round player, you really got to think about staying, because second and third round, they're getting anywhere from, $5 to $9 million over 4 years. But you have quarterbacks who are going to make $3 to $4 million this year in NIL money. So if they're in their minds, if they can make more money far more money in the year one this year and improve their draft standing for next year, why wouldn't you do it? So I think you will keep some of those. I don't want to call them second tier. They're still incredibly talented. They're just not top 15 players that could enter the draft. Those are the ones who are going to look at the NIL money as a logical option.
I think where NIL really becomes fascinating, and you bring up a great point about the NFL, NBA, similar but not as crazy. Really, in WNBA, you're seeing a lot of players, a lot of big players that are like, yeah, I literally would make $90,000 next year playing in the WNBA, and LSU or UConn or whoever, they're throwing like $2.5 million at me. I'm good in college. And Kelly, I think that's going to become the norm, not the exception here, until if and when the WNBA can figure that part out.
The WNBA definitely is. And they're trying to balance that out. But if a young woman gets better and stays in and then comes out, they get them eventually. It's their only option, really. So, the one place I really haven't looked at the numbers is men's college basketball, and how I really haven't looked at that. But it's such an exclusive club that gets drafted by an NBA team anyway. I'd imagine that NIL will really come to play there. By the way, guys, I also wanted to mention really interesting Nike moonshot. They are putting a lot of money into promoting this idea that a woman is going to break the 4-minute mile. And that is coming up here. I believe it's in June. It's in Paris. Her name, it's a woman who, her name is Faith Kipyegon of Kenya. She's already run a 4:07. And they are putting every ounce of technology into her, and they are really building this up as she is going to go for the 4-minute mile, which would be incredible, just groundbreaking number, really.
Kelly, I got 3 words for you, pal. This is going to hit with the older generation. Dan and Dave. Don't ever, 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 ever formulate a campaign around a performance in athletics that has not happened yet. For those of you who don't remember, Nike went all in on Dan and Dave. I think they were decathletes.
Yeah.
Was it the LA Olympics in 80? No, it was after that.
Yeah.
Or was it Reebok maybe that did it? I could be wrong. It was Reebok, I think.
Barcelona, I believe.
And Chris says Barcelona. And they both it just petered out. It's great as the lead up. But then I also worry too, like, is this poor girl having golly, that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
To run a freaking 4-minute mile.
It is, but I'm sure she's getting paid to assume that pressure.
Yeah.
And if she doesn't make it, she doesn't make it. If she does nothing but break her own record, that's still fantastic. And it's interesting they're doing it in Paris, but that's but of course track and field is bigger in Europe than it is in the United States. So this might be a play more about Europe than it is about the US.
Yeah.
Maybe so.
We also just had our first golf major, the Masters. Incredible theater. I mean, that was just must watch a sporting event. It was incredible. Rory finally wins. What's the impact of that? Maybe for Rory, for golf, for just the overall Masters impact.
Yeah. And for CBS, their biggest non-NFL day ever.
Wow.
In terms of viewership. So, I think it marks the survival of the PGA. For whatever reason, LIV is just falling flat with viewership numbers, marketing, everything. It's just falling flat. Guys, what I loved about it, I just hope other events and concerts take it on, is the no cell phone thing. To watch that crowd in a communal way, watch the changing of the scores because no one knew what it was because they didn't have their phones with them. That was old school to me. That's Dan and that goes back a few years, but the whole idea for some of these events is to be part of a community watching it, and phones take away from that in many respects. So I don't know. To me, it was a home run when you consider the numbers they hit without Tiger Woods involved. They didn't think they were within 5 years of being able to do what they just did. And then, of course, you got Justin Thomas coming back this past week as well. So I think reports of the death of the PGA Tour were greatly exaggerated. That's all I'll say.
We're out of time, but I'm gonna take a minute here because I'm super passionate about this, Kelly, and you hit the right button there. I'm a PGA guy as well, and I thought that was if it's not the best Masters I've ever seen final round, it's certainly up there with Jack and Tiger and a lot of these. The LIV Golf Tour is so fixable. It's sad to me. And I don't necessarily want it fixed. I'd rather them reunite as the PGA. It's so fixable and could be done in a week. Go in. You all but eliminate events outside the United States. Now, I understand you're going to have some, especially in the Middle East, but you make those almost like the signature events are in the PGA. You minimize them as much as possible because of the time difference. You go to Fox, not the periphery. I'm talking about Fox and FS1 and all of that, and you create the same type of TV schedule that the PGA does with NBC or CBS, excuse me. You've got Golf Channel handling Thursday, Friday. Then you switch over to Jim Nantz on Saturday, Sunday. You have Fox hire, whether it's a Joe Buck or a Bob Costas, a signature golf voice. I'm not into this the shorts and the crowds and the music and all that. Whatever, leave that. But I'm telling you right now, if I'm sitting there on a Saturday afternoon like most middle-aged dads, and I'm looking for golf to watch so I can take my afternoon nap before the barbecue gets fired up. That's just who we are. That's who golf fans are. And I'm looking at the Valero Open and Siwoo Kim as an 8-shot lead over Billy Horschel. And I look over at the LIV Golf Tournament somewhere in Florida or Massachusetts, and I got DeChambeau and Lefty and Patrick Reed or whoever. I'm watching LIV Golf, and they could legitimately cut into those PGA numbers so much more, but it's almost like they are self-sabotaging because these are not – I'm not particularly smart. These are not unobvious things to do, but they're not doing them, Kelly. You got to watch on the CW app at 3:30 in the morning to watch Phil Mickelson hit a 9-iron from Hong Kong. That's not how you grow the sport here.
Yeah, and maybe it's the curse of having so much money you don't care. You're just trying to disrupt. But the other thing I would love to see some study on, Dave, because everything you say is correct. But the other thing I'd love to see a study on is, are live golfers less competitive overall after having gone to live than they would have been if they had stayed? And I say that because they're playing it in front of smaller crowds. They're playing in front of crowds they have no connection to in other parts of the world. They're playing 3 days, not 4. They've already been paid.
Yeah.
They already won their money.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it shouldn't fall deaf on anyone that Brooks Koepka hasn't done squat since he went to live.
Yeah.
You know, these were great, competitive, grinding it out golfers, and for whatever reason they seem to fade to the background when same thing with Dustin Johnson. Really think about I would love to know, how has that in any way diminished their competitive fire?
Kelly Brothers, it's a great conversation we can do for a whole hour for all you golf nuts out there. We'll see you next week. We appreciate it, Kelly. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, guys. Peace out,
brothers. All right, take care. That's weird calling Kelly brother because he's Kelly Brothers. Yeah. You know what, man. We'll take a break. When we come back, Celtics Cavs, they go up 2-0. Are they on a collision course? Jason Ross will update you on the playoffs next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
I was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean when it happened. There was a sudden jolt and our submarine crashed on the seafloor. We were in total darkness.
That's Dr. Dejana Figueroa, a marine biologist and STEM teacher, talking about a deep sea dive she'll never forget.
It's funny, when I was a kid, I was afraid of the ocean, and there I was, 2 miles below the surface. But as a scientist, you prepare for that. Using our training and a little creativity, we fixed the sub and finished our experiments. The dive was just too important. Every dive gives us glimpses at things few people ever get to see. Glowing creatures, fiery undersea volcanoes. When we got back to the surface, I kissed the ground and called my mom, of course. But you know what? I wouldn't trade that dive for anything.
Dr. Figueroa uses her passion for STEM to discover new things and make the world a better place. She can STEM, so can you. Check out She Can STEM for more stories and inspiration. A message from the Ad Council.
If you're not looking for a brand new car, at Elk Grove Honda, we've acquired some of the best pre-owned cars we can find. We've kept only the best of our trades, and our buyer has found some of the finest pre-owned Hondas available in Northern California. You can see for yourself at elkgrovehonda.com. Whether you purchase a brand new Honda or a like-new pre-owned Honda, your car buying experience will be the same. We have the right Honda at the right price. You'll find us in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
You heard the news. Newsmax just went public on the New York Stock Exchange and listed on the big board. Millions of Americans like you are joining our news revolution. Reuters Institute says Newsmax is one of the top 12 news brands in America. Even President Trump says it's terrific. 40 million Americans go to Newsmax, and its audience grew 50% since the same time last year. Millions really are making the switch to Newsmax. If you want to be a Newsmax share owner, call your advisor or get more info at newsmaxinvest.com. Stand with Newsmax today for a strong America. This communication is for informational purposes only and shall not be intended to or shall not constitute any offer to buy or sell securities, nor shall there be any sale of securities in any jurisdiction in which such offer, solicitation, or sale would be unlawful.
The IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship is back for another thrilling season at Monterey's iconic WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca, May 9th through the 11th. Only in Monterey can you experience a high-octane mix of international drivers, cutting-edge prototypes, and GT sports cars racing wheel to wheel. There'll be gourmet food, wine, craft beers, family entertainment, and exclusive fan engagement with the drivers in the open race paddock. Buy your tickets now and experience world-class motorsports. Visit WeatherTechRaceway.com.
Grab the keys to a new Toyota. It's time to take on the great outdoors with a truck built for adventure. Get a low-cost lease on a legendary 2024 Tacoma, or get low financing or an incredible $3,000 cash back on a rugged 2025 Tundra. Plus, the all-new 2025 4Runner has arrived. Toyota, let's go places. Offers available through TFS buyers with Premier Ready credit. Cashback available through TMNA and cannot be combined with other offers. That's 4/30/25.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
Welcome back. Scott Perry joins us in just under an hour. Scott Perry. One thing we're going to avoid during this interview is, look, sometimes you want to ask fun questions. I don't think we're not going to be like, hey, Scott, rawr, but, we're not going to, like I said, no horse and ducks questions today. But if you're trying to ask a fun question, make sure you prep a little to make sure there's not a misunderstanding. This might be the worst misunderstanding I've ever seen in an interview. This is a Mark S. Allen, our good friend, style, but it's not him, but movie, what do they call those? A junket. Mm-hmm. It's Carl Urban, who played, amongst others, Éomer in Lord of the Rings. He's what's his face in The Boys. You know him. And John Cho.
I know you like Harry Potter.
A couple of really good actors. And this lady is asking them a question about, like, hey, if you could teleport from one place to the other, where would you teleport? She could have chosen a lot of different places. She very innocently chose probably the worst one.
If you could set up the teleport between one place and another, where would that be? Like your bed to Five Guys, or where would you choose?
I'm sorry?
Your teleport, your
Our bed to Five Guys?
Yeah.
What?
Where, like for me, I would do my bedroom straight to a Five Guys. That's where I
What's
would.
a Five Guys?
It's like a burger place.
Oh.
No, not Five Guys.
Right. You're like, well, hey, whatever you're into. I mean, if you're into that, that's cool. I mean, that's cool. No judgment.
I mean, that's fun. No
See, Burger King, Applebee's, Morton's. Also, say a Five Guys. She just said Five Guys.
Also, it was the fact that it was like if you could teleport from here to Five Guys as opposed to from the bedroom. Just everything went wrong there.
The whole thing, and
all right.
All right in the sense that she,
we wouldn't have seen that without that.
Wouldn't have seen that.
Yeah.
So they're got the hits.
Yeah.
But I think you could tell from her reaction that was not intentional.
No.
And those are usually the best ones. Mm-hmm. Here's Steve Kerr on the crowd in Houston last night during the Warriors-Rockets game.
It's not ideal when a crowd is, chanting F you, Draymond. It's just, I don't know. I mean, they did it in Boston a few years ago in the finals. It is what it is. He's been around forever. He's an instigator. He's always going to be in the mix. And because of his career, his championships, his fire, he's going to be a lightning rod, and that's all part of it. I would prefer, if fans could use a little more discretion and, remember that, the guy has kids and, it's like there's kids. I don't know. Maybe I'm old school, but I'm all for the fans cheering for their team. And if they want to yell at the opponents, great. But I don't know. I just think FU it's a little much.
It's interesting.
Give me a break.
Okay. I'm shocking you would come down on that side. I'm split. I obviously see Chris's side. First off, I completely agree with the sentiment of FU Draymond. Like, I would wear a shirt that said that.
But would you chant it?
So that's where it becomes interesting. Now, I understand the Chris Verlods, and I don't even need to look at the chat line to see Russell, amongst others, being like, it's a ball game. It's words. Who cares? Draymond's an instigator. Oh, somebody said FU Draymond. And then for me to say, yeah, but again, forget him having kids, but there's like kids in attendance. Oh, the poor kids there's a whole group of people that have the entire like, oh, kids are going to get offended by bad words thing, right? I see that. But then on the other side, I'm also like, look, you can say a lot of different things. There are kids there. And I look, maybe I know this is a get off my lawn take. I get that this is a boomer take. I acknowledge it fully. I'm even at a sporting event, I'm just not a huge fan of chants with bad words in them around kids. I don't know. I'm also the guy that takes my hat off during the national anthem. I definitely can put my foot on both sides of the political spectrum and a lot of different things, but sue me. When if there's an FU whatever, I look over and I see this 8-year-old girl. Is it going to damage her for life? Is she going to start crying? Is she going to go home?
Chanting it?
Right. I don't know. It's the word I want to use is it's classless, but also I'm not going to get too bent. It's like I really truly am split down the middle on this.
I think by addressing it, it's not calming.
I can promise
the
you
best way to get them to stop.
Dude.
It might be FU Coach Kerr or Steve Kerr.
No. Next game, they will make it back to Houston, and it's 100% gonna be 10 times louder now. And
it's like, interesting. They're not saying that to Steph Curry, but
right
to Draymond Green.
And I'm all for it. I thought about it last night, and I can't get there with Draymond because it goes against everything I believe. There's only one player in the history of sports that I've ever wanted to see get injured, and that was Vontaze Burfict. Because I felt like he was actually a danger to other. Like he literally wanted to hurt people, and I didn't care. I didn't want to see him die. I didn't want to see him, in a wheelchair, but. Vontaze, when Antonio Brown flattened Vontaze Burfict, I loved it. I absolutely, one of my favorite plays of that year. Screw you, Vontaze Burfict. I'm not there with Draymond, but god dang, dude.
He looks to hurt people.
I think we as a community in Sacramento collectively call Houston and say, you guys are doing this wrong.
Oh.
Turkey sausage.
Turkey sausage. JR's chant. The only chant to ever really get to Draymond. We should go.
Didn't he go off that game when JR was yelling at?
Yeah, but forget about that. That's your opinion. Turkey sausage. How did I forget about turkey sausage? That's the chant.
And then Kerr the next game. I'm not sure what they were saying. It sure sounded like they were collectively saying turkey sauce.
Yeah, maybe consider Draymond has turkeys. It's not.
And never mind.
Lastly, Jimmy Butler, tailbone contusion. He's questionable. That was rough. Look, this was an incredibly physical game. This was a at times dirty game. I'm here for that. That was not a dirty play. Thompson actually
just don't say the F word.
Yeah. And Jalen Green was amazing after being just awful in the first game.
Oh my! What do you have? 38 last night. I think. Yeah, that's a fantastic series. We'll take a break. When we come back, Sam Amick joins us from The Athletic. Boy, do we have a lot to talk to him about. You don't want to miss. Maybe the best segment of the week, some people say. And we start it next.
Keegan Murray plays here.
Keegan scores another three-pointer. Keegan Murray knocking it down for 23 points. Snatched De'Aaron Fox for game scoring honors.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Drafting the perfect roster means getting the right balance of power and performance. Season after season, Ego Outdoor Power Equipment has drafted a truly innovative lineup of cordless tools that has the power of gas without the noise, fuss, or fumes. Plus, the same battery powers all Ego essentials, from mowers and blowers to chainsaws and trimmers. It's all power, zero compromise. Check out the Ego lineup of spring must-have tools at egopowerplus.com.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Get ready for an adrenaline-pumping, action-packed day at Monster Truck Madness. Witness the insane power of Rockstar, California Kid, Identity Theft, Spitfire, Reverse, Titan, and more. Plus, right along the massive Monster Truck. It's all happening Saturday, May 10th at the San Joaquin County Fairgrounds with 2 back-to-back shows at 3 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. Don't miss the wildest event of the year. Tickets are selling fast, so head to StocktonDirtTrack.com for tickets and more info. It's Monster Truck Madness. Non-stop, high-octane thrills that you can't miss.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With a Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen 1 too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Sun is shining, the chairlifts are spinning. That's right, stellar weather here at Palisades. What are you waiting for? Hop in your Toyota and head on up here. I'm Johnny Mosley, and this is your Thursday Toyota Tahoe Report.
Thanks, Johnny. Mostly sunny today with a high of 57. Tonight, clouds will roll in with a low around 38. And tomorrow, a chance of showers with a high near 51. And snow levels of 6,800 feet. This report is brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports 1140.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom,
with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
Scott Perry joins us in 40. I'm honestly here for it. I'm actually here for that. Joins us in 40 minutes. Well, 39 now. Well, actually 38 and 7 seconds. But whatever, because we've got the Athletics' Sam Amick joining us right now. And to all you aggregators out there that are about to aggregate this segment, please hat tip to Sam, the Athletic, and us. If you're going to aggregate our content, that'd be great. We appreciate you. But good morning, Sam.
Good morning, gentlemen. Nice to be with you. On video for one.
Yeah,
that. What changed?
Yeah, what happened? Do you not have a... did your
Spring
kids
break?
go to move away, all of them? What's happening?
Shout out Grandpa Tim. Coming up clutch.
GT.
Helping me out today.
Oh, that's good, Sam.
Helping us all out.
Helping us all out. We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
We're going to get into Scott Perry, playoffs, King's demise. We're going to do all that. But since this is the first time we've really spoken to you in full post Montavious Caldwell-McNair's departure. I just want to, because you've been on this and been breaking a lot of this news from the jump. Credit to you, The Athletic, Anthony Slater, everybody on this, Shams, whoever, just you guys have done a great job. Exactly how much, if any, control? I want to drill down, Sam. Sure sounds like, based on the reporting, that Monty didn't want to fire the coach, Mike Brown. Monty, I think maybe Monty didn't want Doug Christie as the coach. I can't remember if that was in there. Monty wasn't all in on the Levine thing. It sounds like he was just what the hell was he doing? Playing Tetris towards the end?
He's so glib, Dave.
I am.
Serious stuff.
Serious. He's got millions of dollars to relax on. Let's all calm down. Go ahead. I mean, he's fine. I love Monty.
Montavious, by the way, is a new poll.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it did seem pretty clear by the end. It's kind of like once the dust settled, and you kind of turn and look backwards and analyze all the biggest moves that went down. I mean, they were driven without question by Vivek. A lot of this stuff is just plain as day. There was call it a mandate, call it a focus on remaining competitive in the wake of the De'Aaron Fox trade, which to me, that doesn't justify targeting somebody like Zach LaVine or even fully explain it. But, there's other routes you could go to remain competitive. But Zach in particular was a guy that Vivek has liked for a long time. That was part of the dynamic. The Doug Christie thing, when they fired Mike, I don't have full clarity on, you had Jay Triano sitting there as a former head coach and a national team coach for Canada, who I don't actually think would have taken the job if they offered it to him. But it was more the fact that in terms of process, that was not considered whatsoever. But more pointedly, the choice going forward from now for Doug to be the coach, my understanding is that Monty was not looking to have that be the case. And at least as of, last week, Vivek was certainly leaning that way. So yeah, a lot of ownership influence.
Yeah. Do you have any other read on that? I know Scott Perry had his press conference yesterday, was asked about Doug and said good things about Doug, but also said there are other coaches that are calling him with interest in the job. Where do you think we stand right now on the Kings head coach?
I thought, first of all, I think Scott's a strong hire. He's a very respected guy around the league. You guys know and remember, that 3-month stretch, it sounds crazy because it was just not very long, that he really did successfully start to change the reputation of the group around the NBA, which is such an important thing for this particular group. And I'm talking about because of his agent relationships, because of his executive relationships. Like, it's one of the things that if we're being honest, like, that Monty would be criticized for at times was not having, all of the different possible avenues open to him based on relationships. Because, if you're trying to kind of suss out every possible trade scenario or whatever you're trying to get accomplished, relationships matter. Scott is a relationship guy. Now, in terms of his press conference and Doug, I was a little struck by his candor and honestly kind of loved his one line about radical candor and radical love.
Yeah.
And the fact that he was real open about how it's not Doug's job just yet. That had been my understanding going into the press conference. And I don't know what direction it's going to go. I think the fascinating discussion behind the scenes is going to be, it's just me talking, but I would tend to believe that if Scott ends up deciding Doug is the head coach, obviously along with Vivek, then he would prefer to do something where it's a pretty short-term deal. They have options in Doug's contract where they could just say, let's push it out to next year and make sure you can really coach. You know what I mean? But then I think you're going to have some people in the room who say, is that the best approach? Do you want your players, having a, short-term window here and more uncertainty? So interesting discussion with him. And then when Scott shares in the press conference that his phone's been ringing off the hook, that's certainly, about the job. That makes you wonder who else is in the mix potentially, and where might this go?
So, and again, you said that's an option. You don't have clarity on that, to be fair, but just so I understand that, there is a possibility, if that happens with those options, that Doug could in fact keep the job going into next season, but on a prove it deal, which any other time we would be talking about that coach being a lame duck.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, and that's where the dynamics are tricky. It's like, if you want the new GM to go along with the program, and Scott would be the first to share with you that he's, well aware that part of his value in this particular environment is his history of having worked with Vivek, and the idea that, that he's pretty good at this when it comes to having a partnership there, instead of something where it leads to the sort of divisiveness that we saw before. So he is trying to partner with Vivek here, but he's also going to be genuine. And if he's not ready to give Doug a, brand new 3-year deal, I think he's going to say that, you know what I mean? So yeah, in that regard, it is a little tricky, because you have these two timelines are going to clash against each other a little bit. Scott's coming in going, if you really want my view and you want me to decide what I think of this group, I've been here a week. So yeah, we'll see where it goes.
Sam, I thought the other takeaway, to me, at least from Scott Perry's press conference yesterday, is he was not in a way of ego, but basically saying, look, I've got a lot of experience and a lot of connections, and by all accounts, he's very well respected. I think that's a strength. These are all good things. What is the benefit of that for this organization, to have him, when really in the past, maybe there's been times where people have not thought this organization was that highly thought of and that respected? So what's the win there for the Kings, if that's what they do have in Scott Perry?
I think it's just, so long as he is able to stay, call it in lockstep with Vivek, or whatever adjective you want to use. It's, whether it's an agent or another team, or even players on the team talking to him, it's that confidence that you can make one phone call and you can actually learn what is going on with the Kings, what they're thinking. They're going to be straight with you. They're going to be professional with you, and you can get work done. You know what I mean? As opposed to, should I talk to Monty? Should I talk to Wes? Am I really talking to them, or is this Vivek talking? You know what I mean? Like any job, to be honest with you, you guys know politics. Like when you're trying to figure out why people are, saying certain things or doing certain things, because you might question who's actually running the show. This Scott Perry experience at its best, which is what they hope for it to be, is that business is just cleaner when it comes to the Kings, and also that he's obviously fighting for their agenda and their goals here to get this thing back on track.
Sorry, I had my mic off. So, all right, as we hammer the Kings here, no first round pick, a top 5 most immovable contract in the NBA, our largest rebuilding piece traded away from Magic Beans. No offense to Zach LaVine, but just not the max deal you could have gotten. A GM coming in that actually had to address comments he made not that long ago. I'm sure you've seen about Zach LaVine not being I don't want to paraphrase here, but you saw the comments. Yeah. Scott's got his work cut out for him. Am I wrong, Sam Amick?
You're not wrong. No, I mean, first of all, I love podcasts. They never die.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he handled that well. Also, nice job, Sean Cunningham, with the question. The way that Sean asked it, I thought was professional and tactful. And yeah, I mean, he's got, and if anybody doesn't know that part, I think everybody does at this point. Scott was somewhat critical of Zach's lack of winning. But I actually think, I want to start there. I mean, to me, I almost think a little moment like that you could argue helps Scott a little bit because it's a reminder that he is a bit of a straight shooter. And so they put him on ESPN, they put him in front of podcast microphones, and he has a hard time not saying what he actually thinks. And, you know, and even yesterday, of course, he cleaned it up a little bit, but he still stood on it. You know, it's not like he came out and said, "Oh, I was so wrong. Zach LaVine is a winning player." No, he said, we need to put more pieces around Zach to help with the winning. So, yeah, he has his work cut out for him. You know, I wonder strategically how he's going to approach it and how, I mean, ironically, how closely that will be aligned with what I think the previous front office would have done if they stayed in power, which is there's this phrase that they would use that stuck in my head of, and it sounds bad, but I get the point, is spinning out of certain contracts. And so you're not, you know, because the idea was you did the Fox trade, you didn't get the Spurs young players, you're stuck with these, you know, big money guys who don't fit together. And then the idea, you know, to kind of pivot out of that was to spin out of at least one this summer. And, you know, what can you get for DeMar? You know, do you need to talk about Domas? And because we all know that he's not seeming like the happiest guy in town right now. And, you know, it's not going to be one move that gets them back on track. It's going to be a series of moves. And with the unanswered question of how aggressive is Scott going to be, you know, and that part remains to be seen.
You know, Sam, I want to go to your comment there about Sabonis. I think we heard, you know, that Fox was kind of inquiring, like, what is this organization doing? And who's deciding these things? Where are we going? Kind of was maybe a phrase that we thought Fox and now even Sabonis, like trying to gauge the front office. What do you think they're looking for? What kind of answers? Is that kind of, hey, is the GM running things? Is Vivek running things? Is that what is our clear direction? Who's our coach? Maybe a combo of all that. What do you think those guys are trying to hear or wanted to hear?
I mean, yeah, they just want to know about the culture. And I'm looking down just because I'm pulling up Domas' salary to remind myself of his contract. But, you know, clarity on the culture, clarity on who's running the show, what the priorities are, things like that. And really, you know, Domas is one of the more unique players in the league when it comes to, you know, he would like to get back to an environment where he can play his brand of basketball again. And that's not being surrounded by three guys who can be playmakers, but who are not point guards, you know, in Zach and Malik and DeMar.
If only we had a point guard.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That is, I did love, like, that was the big headline coming out of this. You know, everybody agrees they need a point guard. The other reality is, with 3 years and, my goodness, you know, $140 million left on Domas' contract, roughly. You know, I think he's going to have to settle in and try to find solutions here, because the idea of him, you talk about contracts that are not real tradable. I mean, he's on that list as well. So, you know, all this noise doesn't necessarily mean that he's headed out of town.
Interesting. Let's talk about that for a second, Sam. That surprises me a bit. Zach LaVine, it was said the Bulls were known to, other teams wanted them to attach assets just to move the contract. And that is known as a rather difficult contract to move, LaVine's contract. I've never heard that associated with Sabonis. And I understand he makes a lot of money, but you're also, you know, you're talking about the 3-time consecutive rebound leader, a guy that's probably the closest thing to Jokic we have, at least for another year till Sengun gets there. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that really tweaked my head a little bit, that it is the thought on Sabonis that is a rough contract to move, beyond the fact that every big contract has difficulties.
Think about the conversation, agree or disagree. Think about the conversation that surrounds Domas' game and how divisive it is. And that leads to the reality that you need to give me, Dave, a list of teams that not only financially are willing to take on the contract, but that are willing to hand him the ball and to play that style of basketball that it has certainly been argued that unless you get him around the perfect rim protector, and the perfect, point guard playmaker partner, that there is a ceiling on your championship, possibilities. And again, not even trying to have the actual argument and pick one side or the other, but that means that all these different teams that currently have one particular direction with their roster are going to look at Domas and say, yep, we're going to shift and we're going to go down that road, because the angst that you're hearing about right now with him is all born out of the fact that he wants to get back to the beam team style of play. That's made him very happy. He was making all-star teams and all NBA teams, and that can be a real positive. But if that organization elsewhere doesn't see that, as the goal, then they're not going to make a move for him. I mean, I don't know the exact market at this point, but I think it's a fair thing to highlight.
Well, and Sam, as you alluded to earlier about kind of the organizational directive on when they decided to go forward and move Fox was try to stay as competitive as possible. I'm assuming if they do explore moving any of those guys, whether it's DeRozan, Levine, Sabonis, but Sabonis is kind of the key piece here, that the same goals would still be in place for Scott Perry from Vivek, is stay as competitive as possible. That might have led to a misstep here, but do you think would you believe that's the same way the organization would want to go, as if they traded someone like that to stay kind of in that competitive window as opposed to a rebuild?
I'm sure that's how Vivek sees it. And we'll see if this bears out, but I tend to think that, I know Scott pretty well and I've always enjoyed working with him, and the combination of his personality in general, and then, not to go too big picture, but like his stage of life, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like he's been doing this for a minute, and, we are in our late 40s, and you already start getting a little bit of that attitude of like, you know what? I don't think I'm going to bite my tongue as much as I used to, or I don't think I'm going to, yield off of this thing. I'm going to do it the way I want to do it. You get a little bit, less give an F, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And, I could see that being a good combination where, Scott is tactful and respectful in his dealings with Vivek, but is able to convey to him, hey, here's why we're not going to do this short-term move over here. I'm telling you, it's not going to work. You got to be a little more patient. This other route is the way to go. And we'll see if that, is actually what happens. But I do think he has that in him.
Sam Amick joining us. I'm trying to decide in my head if I want to stay on Kings or move to the playoffs here, because we do have the playoffs in full swing. John Horst
got an extension while we've been sitting here.
Who did?
John Horst.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting, because they might be one and done here, and there's talk of maneuverations going on. I wonder if that's a vote of confidence or a hey, we need you here for the big trade coming up. Well, let's start there. By the way, is there any smoke to the fire, or should I say any fire to the smoke, where we seem to be hearing that should the Bucks be eliminated by the Pacers, currently up 2-0, that there will be a lot of Giannis conversations going on this summer?
Around the league, yes. And while Giannis has not given any indications that I'm aware of internally, I mean, I 100% am a believer that, they are going to be in trouble if they lose in this first round. I know him. I've been around him. We don't need to make this a Bucks interview, but in training camp, guys, I went down to Southern California to be around the Bucks, and I wrote about this, but it's just, you talk about things that stick in your head. I asked Giannis at one point a very blunt question about, hey, what happens? I don't mean to be negative, but what happens if it just doesn't work this year? And he literally, this was very uncomfortable, he grabbed a nearby staff member by the shoulders. I don't even know what the guy's job was. I never met the guy. Grabs him by the shoulders, and I'm going to give a terrible Giannis impression. It's just, hey, if we lose this year, do you think you get fired?
That's like, I never heard that one, because the one that's always is the Eric. What do you ask me?
Eric name. Yes,
he's the best.
That's our Bucks beat writer. But he literally goes, "You think you get fired?" And the guy was just like, "Yeah, maybe." And so Giannis made this point about how it's pro sports, results based. He was very direct about it. But within that, I can share this now that John has a new contract. I had a line in the story that said that Giannis had alluded to GM John Horst. Well, the alluded part was he literally looked at John and looked at me and said, "Sam, if we don't win," and then he took his finger to his throat when it comes to John.
Wow.
And he was being, they have a good relationship. Don't get it wrong. He was being playful, but he was, that he knows that his presence means one thing, which is you got to contend for titles or else it's going to be ugly. And so to me, I think this is probably the organization knowing that John is the guy who helped draft Giannis. This is not a good time to have instability. So they're going to make sure that his guy that he's comfortable with is around, but we'll see where it goes from here.
I know we're 2 games in on all the series, Sam, but is there any other organization / star that you would kind of put in that watch the Bucks and Giannis camp if they were to lose kind of window?
No, not that's in the, I guess, people talk about Memphis, you know what I mean? With John Morant and that situation obviously has just been very dramatic this year. Beyond there, it's going to be the summer of Kevin Durant, the summer of Zion Williamson, with Joe Dumars obviously running things in New Orleans now. Those are the stars that are going to be the focal points. This is just me. I have personally wondered, the Warriors have been playing so well, and there's always been so much chatter about them potentially going after Giannis. But in this Jimmy Butler era, it doesn't really make sense how, I have a hard time thinking the Warriors will see Giannis potentially become available and not have some way of making a run at him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is, and it's a good problem to have, is that, I think there are scenarios where you could somehow get, Steph, Draymond, Jimmy, and Giannis under the same roof. Pretty implausible. And so, I've chatted with people about man, as great as Jimmy has been, do you think they, if they didn't win the whole thing, would they come off of him to go after Giannis? And these are speculative. I don't know, but I have wondered about that. But no, I think most of the big names are guys that are out already.
Sam Amick of The Athletic. We talked about it earlier this week, but one of our favorite things, there are player polls that come out each and every year. We spend a lot of time on that.
I'm shamelessly pumping the poll here.
See, the weird thing about when Sam, the funny thing is when Sam's on, there was this split second, Chris. I thought it was Sam picking up on the bit and saying the thing. So that and more. Watch Sam shamelessly plug his polls and do wonderful writing work throughout the season. Appreciate you, buddy. Don't say we don't ever plug your stuff.
Stop it. I'm uncomfortable.
Me too.
Just talk to you soon. Say hi to the fans. All right. That's Sam Amick.
Bye.
We'll take a break when we return. We'll talk a little bit about what Sam talked about at some point. Also, we got a lot to get to. Who's hot, who's not. We'll go streaking. And then Scott Perry shows up at 8:40. We'll do all that right here in your home of the Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Any way you want it, that's the way you need it.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Well, everyone has a past, but what happens if you've made mistakes and made good on that past, but it still continues to follow you? You just can't shake it. So maybe you're looking for an attorney to erase your past records and restore your rights. That's called an expungement, and that is something that Jonathan Gonzalez can do, has done for many, many people out there. So want to get your rights back, want to get your life kind of back in order, you can do that. Maybe you're going through a sexual harassment case, a wrongful termination case, an auto accident, you need criminal defense, whatever it might be. He is here in our community, a local lawyer that is here to help. You can call his office at 916-304-9187 or go to saclegaldefense.com. His case preparation and overall approach, what it's done, well, it's resulted in life-changing, impactful results
for thousands of clients, and you could be one as well. 916-304-9187 at saclegaldefense.com.
Welcome to Staples.
Hi, I hear Staples prints it all.
Oh, you bet. Posters, banners.
Can you print it all for Mother's Day?
Oh, of course. Photo gifts like canvas prints, photo puzzles.
Can you print it all for graduation?
Sure can. Custom cards and invites.
Can you print a huge banner with the grad's picture?
Oh, definitely.
Even an embarrassing baby picture?
Oh, those are the best kind.
I know, right?
Print it all for moms and grads at Staples. And right now, get 40% off custom cards, invites, and photo gifts. N75 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
With Progressive, renters can save on protection for the things that make your place yours, even things that don't make sense to everyone.
People always wonder why I don't get rid of my guitar since I never play. But it's like, what if I actually end up taking lessons? Sure, I've had it for 8 years, but if I get rid of it, then what will my New Year's resolution be next January?
Exactly. So bundle your renters and auto and save with Progressive and protect the things that make sense to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers not available in all states or situations. Covered subject to policy terms and conditions.
The Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter right to your email. Get your latest on the Sacramento Kings, athletics, and Republic FC with the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit sacktownsports.com to join.
And now a brief history of the garage door. Garage doors could date back to 450 BC when chariots were stored in gatehouses. Here in the States, they became a thing around the start of the 20th century. You could find a float-over door in a catalog way back in 1906. National Garage Door has been around since 1974. They're family-owned and operated, so you can trust them to solve any garage door issues you may have. Squeaky door, malfunctioning door, or a need for a new door, which is what prompted us to give them a call, 916-638-4554. At National Garage Door Service is their number one priority. I've witnessed that commitment in my own home, certainly in our garage. National Garage Door sells quality Rainer branded garage doors. They are the nation's BSE broken spring experts. So if you have a garage door that looks and sounds like it dates back to 450 BC, National Garage Door can help. Whether it's a garage door tune-up, repair, or replacement you need, they'll take care of you at National Garage Door. 916-638-4554. That's 916-638-4554. National Garage Door.
Switch to Comcast Business Mobile and save hundreds a year on your wireless bill. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Restrictions apply. Comcast Business Internet required. Compares 2 unlimited intro lines and lowest price 5G plans of top 3 carriers. Taxes and fees extra. Reduced speeds after 30 gigabytes of usage. Data thresholds may vary.
The PGA club fitters at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio know that golf should be fun. They also know that players of all abilities will hit the ball farther and straighter, play better golf, shoot lower scores, and have more fun if they get fitted before they purchase golf clubs. Hagen Oaks delivers the same technology and major brands used to fit PGA and LPGA professionals. See how the game can be even more fun. Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio fittings are available 7 days a week. Make yours today by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531.
It's Carmichael Dave talking to you about my good friends at American Energy. You're in the Sacramento area. You know how the seasons work. They are a-changing right now. So American Energy wants to help you stay warm for the rest of the cold season, but help you stay cool during the warm season. Best way to do that, make sure your system is operating safely. So right now is the time to take advantage of half off a tune-up, $24.50. They cut that right in half. And if you want a diagnostic, guess what? You can't beat free. If it's free, it's me, and now it can be you. And also, it's the end of the season blowout. $4,000 off a new system plus any rebates. That $4,000, that's a direct drop from the sticker price. It's a great deal. Check them out at theaeway.com or an instant quote, or give them a call at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Tell them your good buddy Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot.
And what's not?
It's not good.
Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
Ooh, it's hot.
Jalen Green.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was.
Rockets won last night. Jalen Green in his first ever playoff game. He only had 7 points, but last night, 38. That's the largest increase in points from a player's first career playoff game to his second in NBA history.
That was a hell of a model American.
He beat.
Who'd he beat?
Gilbert
Arenas.
Yeah.
And Carlos
Boozer.
Boozer.
Yeah. Well, we'll save Mount Carlos more for later.
They both had 30.
Wow. Good for him. Good for Jalen Green. But if you cannot have a light without a dark, you cannot have a good without a bad, so you cannot have a hot without a not. Who's not?
Colorado Rockies.
Colorado
are
Rockies.
the worst team in baseball with a record of 4-18. Only won one of their last 10. Lost yesterday to the Royals 4-3.
I've got a supplemental, but I'm not sure. I'm going to need your guys' help because I don't know if this is a who's hot or a who's not. So we'll call it a who's snot. Jacob Wilson of the Oakland A's.
I know it. I witnessed it.
So
you know this stat? I had heard this stat.
Yes, I was there.
You were there in person.
I saw something historic.
I
yesterday.
believe he went 82 at bats. I'm doing this off the top of my head. 82 at bats without a single walk, at least going into yesterday's game.
Is there more to it, or I have one more nugget?
Oh, please. No, go.
He had never been in a 3-ball count.
Yes. Okay, I didn't know that. Oh my God.
How crazy is that?
Are you serious?
So I remember, and then when he walked, the bench almost was like a home run. I mean, they were like slapping the railing, and they're all going nuts.
Wow.
He walked, I think, to load the bases. So I'm like,
yes.
Okay, that's Jacob Wilson. That's a big walk. Yeah, they were going nuts.
Wow.
How weird is it he would never made it to a 3-ball count?
That's crazier.
Yeah.
That's actually crazier than not only did he not walk in 80 plus at bats, he never got to a 3-ball count.
I wish we knew that when we were talking to him last week.
Wow. Seriously. Bad form on us.
Yeah.
Well, he got a walk yesterday.
Yes, he did.
You were there to see it. Well, here's my question then. So you said the dugout went crazy.
Yes.
Did the fans? Was there a
I don't know that the fans knew.
Well, I was just to say, was there, even if they didn't go crazy, I guess it's tough to remember, but I wonder if there was actually a larger pop for the bases loaded walk than a normal bases loaded walk.
There was a pop for the walk.
Okay, all right.
Sure. But I think it was led from the fans, from the players. But then it also then kind of coincided because then it led to a bases loaded opportunity for Nick Kurtz.
Nick Kurtz.
Yes.
Who got himself a base hit.
Yeah.
In his debut.
First time up.
Does he? But you know what else, Jason? Nick Kurtz did not get a hit in 3 out of his 4 at-bats. Time to send him down? Yeah.
Maybe.
Cup of coffee?
Maybe.
Let's go streaking, please, right now.
It's time to go streaking.
It's time.
Who is the Nostradamus of MLB? Who can keep the streak going? It's time to go streaking.
What the hell are you doing?
Player day, if that player gets hit, you add on to your hit streak. Can't pick that player again during the hit streak. Dave going into yesterday at 5. Me going into yesterday at 8. Chris going into yesterday at 1. Dave, you took Bobby Witt Jr. And Bobby Witt Jr. Postponed. Rain. So no impact. You're good.
Bobby Witt Rhodes.
You remain at 5.
I remain at 5.
I was 8 trying to get to 9, and I did take the phenom Nick Kurtz. And I was so glad. First plate appearance. He just took care of business. I'm like, thank you, Nick. Glad I picked you. 1 for 1. Now he didn't get a hit the rest of the game, but he went 1 for 4. Knocked in a run.
Are you the first contestant in the history of Let's Go Streaking to see your streak extended in person?
I'd have to ask you guys that.
Yes. I haven't. I don't think I've been to a baseball game since we started it.
Then yes.
Wow.
Yes,
congratulations.
Confirmed. And it's happened a couple times. I've also seen it broken. I was there to watch JJ Bleday not get a hit a while earlier in the season. And Chris was at 1 trying to get to 2, and he took show favorite
Shohei Ohtani.
Jackson Holiday.
I would say my favorite. I don't think you guys have picked him this season.
Not yet.
No, because he's kind of your guy, but
Jackson Holiday got up 3 times. Chris, what's the result?
Hey!
He got a hit, let's say. Oh yeah. He's keeping the streak going. Come on. Can't pick him another time. Maybe you guys will.
2 for 3. So Chris is at 2. I'm at 9. Dave, you remain.
And as you
5.
know, he did not hit a grand slam because of the
music.
Song I played.
Yeah.
What's the one we play if he hits a grand
Oh,
slam?
you gotta wait.
Okay. Well, what if he doesn't hit another one ever?
He might. You might need to pick him then. Are you gonna keep Bobby Witt?
I always do. If they're
okay,
that's my rule. If they're postponed or whatever, I'm gonna keep them.
All right. So you keep Bobby Witt Jr. I'm gonna take Gunnar Henderson of the Baltimore Orioles.
Gunnar Henderson.
Chris.
Gunnar Henderson.
I am going to take
who? Come on, tell us.
Kevin Pillar.
The Rangers.
Yep.
Pillar.
Okay.
Is one hell of a model American.
We are picked.
All right, we're taking a break. We're out a little bit early because we want to be ready to go. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up next, the brand new general manager of your Sacramento Kings, Scott Perry, joins us.
Any way you want it, that's the way you need it.
Next.
Breaking, the Sacramento Kings and Scott Perry have finalized a deal for him to become the next GM of the Kings. Keep it here for up-to-date breaking Sacramento Kings news. Sacktown Sports 1140.
Whitey here with another great grilling tip. The Napoleon Stainless Steel Prestige 500 Connected Propane Grill with infrared side and rear burner featuring Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity brings you closer to your grilling experience than ever before. The Napoleon Connected lets you monitor temperatures, set timers, and receive high temp warnings. Boop, boop. All from your smartphone with temperature probes and LCD display. You'll always know exactly what's happening inside your grill. Napoleon's LED control knobs even illuminate for nighttime entertaining and feature safety glow. Napoleon Grills, simply the best.
Spring is here, and that means gigantic savings for all your oil change needs at Jiffy Lube today. Get a $25 gift card with the purchase of any Pennzoil Platinum full synthetic oil change through May 31st at your local Jiffy Lube service center in the greater Sacramento areas. And don't forget about the additional $30 off online coupon at jiffylube.com. Terms apply. Valid email address required. See pennzoil.com/rewards for details. Jiffy Lube, huge spring savings for you today.
Disturbed. Live. Oh, come on, get down with the 25th anniversary of the 5-time platinum album, The Sickness. 2 sets, 1 show, The Sickness in its entirety, and greatest hits with special guests, Daughtry, and Nothing More. Friday, May 9th, Golden One Center. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Disturbed. Live.
What's going on? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, what's happening for the Jeep Celebration event?
I'm excited about this, or should I say my wife is. 20,000 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Jeep Wagoneer S. She had a chance to drive one, and she loves it. And I've not heard from anyone who doesn't love their new Wagoneer. And we have a great selection and more on the way.
I will admit, I sat in one, and it feels very luxurious.
It's nice having such a great option to help get the family wherever they need to go. And if you're looking for something else, we have you covered there, too. People love our new certified pre-owned supercenter with over 200 vehicles available and over 50 under $20,000.
Whatever you need, you can get it at Hoblet. Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
20,000 total net savings after 14,000 factory rebates and 6,000 dealer discounts. Rebates include 7,000 CDJ federal tax credit offered by third party and subject to change without notice. Consult tax professional for eligibility. Through this net savings, sample VIN 562-884. See dealer for details.
What's hot and what's not? Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Well, I thought my schedule was packed. Scott Perry lands. Everyone asked him a ton of questions yesterday. He's doing this show. Oh, by the way, he's trying to run a team. But he's nice enough to join us.
Yes, he is.
And we're not going to take that for granted. The new general manager of your Sacramento Kings, Scott Perry. Scott, it's Dave. It's Jason. Good morning, and thank you.
Thank you very much, guys. Great to be on with Dave and Jason. Looking forward to spending a lot more time with you guys over the coming days, months, weeks, and years.
Good. Let's make it a regular habit.
Yeah, we were going to say that. We'd love to have you on every couple weeks, Scott. And Jason and I put our heads together. We are right now. We're up to what is it, Jason? We're $25 a bobblehead. We have Bobby Jackson and a couple others, and some free Fire Wings gift cards.
Yeah.
So I know you got an agent. I know you got a job to do and all that, but let's get our heads together and negotiate someday.
Okay. There's no bobblehead for me. I don't think I would look that good with a bobblehead.
I'll ask you an easy one first. And honestly, look, we appreciate you coming on. We saw the presser, of course, yesterday. Not that you probably need background because you know this town and you know how big of fans we all are. We don't hide it here. We're not trying to be journalists. So I just want to have a conversation with you, and please don't take anything wrong. They're just questions that we have, and questions I'm sure you know that we have. But let me give you an easy one. How does it feel to be? You had the 3-month, 4-month stint here. You're back in semi-familiar areas. Your thoughts coming into the job?
Awesome feeling, great opportunity. Really looking forward to it. I really enjoyed my time in Sacramento 8 years ago. That 3-month stint. It went very fast, but I thought it was really effective and productive. And opportunities like this don't happen a lot of times in our life, where you get a chance to come back and really finish what you felt like you started. So that's what I'm looking forward to now, is just coming back, being here, and making this team a long-term sustainable winner. So that's my focus. That's my mandate. And we're eager to get to work on that.
Yeah. So, Scott, how different then, let's go to that 8 years ago, the 3 months you were here, how different is your task list today compared to 8 years ago? Well, how different is the job now?
Well, obviously, I come back with a lot more experience as well. Not that I didn't have experience when I first got here, but my 6 years in New York in the same position was a great opportunity. Got a chance to really accomplish things in the world's biggest media market. So you learn a lot about yourself, and it provides some confidence coming back here that you can definitely do the things necessary to make this a very successful organization. And that's, again, going to be my focus each and every day. That's going to be the staff's focus. I can't go at it alone, obviously, but we're going to make sure that we have the right people in place to help us get where we need to get.
Scott Perry with us. Scott, you mind if I just ask you a direct question? You answer it however you want. It's just you and I talking. No one's listening.
just you and I talk. You guys, I totally understand. Don't forget, I was one of you for the last couple of years.
True. Yes, we've seen clips.
You've seen clips.
Oh, we see clips. Yeah.
So now, if you've seen the clips, now you know why I'm back on this side.
Well, I was a big fan of The Human, especially Monty McNair, and you read reports. Look, I'm just going to be straight up. Vivek Ranadive saved this team, along with David Stern and Kevin Johnson and these fans. We are, as you know, diehard Kings fans.
Absolutely.
I think Vivek is a model owner when it comes to running everything off the floor. But my worry is, like many owners, not that you dealt with, you in New York, different story there. And I'd take Vivek any day and twice on Sundays. And I'm aware I'm speaking on a sensitive topic here, but if you believe the reports, Monty lost some control towards the end. There was overruling. There was more than suggestions. Scott, frankly, you seem like a wonderful hire, and your reputation is sterling when it comes to the league. Every single person listening right now, including myself, is worried that, as in the past with Pete, with Vlade, and ultimately with Monty, that the powers above aren't just going to have a voice, but are going to have the ultimate final decision. So my excitement for you is honestly tempered by whether or not you're going to have the autonomy you need to use your skills to turn this franchise around. There's not really a question in there, Scott. I'm just trying to have a conversation with you. This is what the fans are thinking. How would you address that?
No, understood. But like what I would say to the fans is this. Obviously, I was not here during any of those times, so I really don't have a commentary on that. What I can tell you, the 3 months that I was here, I was able to build a very strong relationship with Vivek that lasted well beyond that. Over this past 8 years where we maintained contact, it was built on a tremendous amount of respect, understanding. He got a chance up close to see my work style. I learned his work style. We share a lot of the same values. And I think the biggest thing he knows is that I'm very connected in this industry, and I bring a lot of experience to the position. So, and no disrespect to those prior, I'm coming in here, haven't done this job before. So in our conversations, Vivek and our conversations, I have a strong comfort level. His only mandate to me was to build a sustainable winner in the way that I saw fit, and that he would support me and provide the necessary resources for us to be successful. And we have a very healthy dialogue. I said this yesterday. I welcome diversity of thought, but when we leave here, it's about having unity of purpose. So that will be our guiding principles on how we work together. And I wouldn't be sitting here if he didn't have the confidence in me to do this job, and I didn't have the confidence in he and I being able to work very well together, but ultimately me being the guy to make the basketball decisions necessary to move this franchise forward.
Scott Perry joining us. Scott, it's clear that your 3 months here had an impact on him, and obviously, as you just said, your open communication with him over the last 8 years while you were doing other things with the Knicks and even out of New York as well, had an impact on him. So he knows what he's getting in you. What are you getting in coming back to this organization?
Well, I'm getting a tremendous organization, fan base. You know, I've been in the league going on 25, 26 years, been around this league, and this place is one of the special places where you come and visit because of the engagement of the fan base. I love that, love being a part of that. I know this community is starving to win once again and be consistently a good basketball team and put a good product on the floor. I embrace that. I really look forward to that. And so here I am. And here I hope to be for a very, very long time. And I hope, again, to make sure that this fan base gets a team that it richly deserves. And we'll see where, we see where we can take it, how high we can take this thing. And that's the goal.
Scott Perry joining us. And Scott, we appreciate your candor. Just, to kind of follow up, hypothetically, and I know everyone loves dealing with hypotheticals, but if you saw fit, if you took a look at this team and you ultimately said, you know what, I think our best move is to go with a full-scale Oklahoma City style, whoever you want to call it, rebuild. We're going to tear down, we're going to build up, and that's how we're going to get a sustainable winner. Or, hey, we're going to work around the edges, and we're going to do X, Y, and Z, and we're going to do the same thing. I'm not going to ask you what your strategy is because that would be silly, and I wouldn't want you to share it. But, again, are you specifically, or have you been empowered to where if you wanted to do a full-scale rebuild or the other, that is, you can absolutely do that? Those options are on the table for you?
I've been empowered to do exactly what I see fit, what is best for this organization, whether it's what you described or whether it's, like you said, build around the edges. I'm in the early assessment phase, obviously, this roster. I believe there is talent here. It's no secret that we need a true point guard with this current mixture of talent on the roster. And there's also no secret, in my opinion, that we need more length and athleticism along the front line if we want to enhance this current group here. So, as I mentioned yesterday in the press conference, I've been spending a lot of time talking with these players, which is important, and want to make sure that I am setting the course and the vision of how we want to play, what it means to be a Sacramento King, and want to make sure that those guys will be on board with that. And so over the coming days, weeks, months, we're going to learn more about each other. and that will help formulate a lot of the decisions as we move forward.
Yesterday, you also mentioned, I know Doug Christie was asked about, or your head coaching position. That's an assessment phase, too, of him and of others that you said have reached out and shown interest in this position. Kind of where are you on the latest on having the next head coach, whether it's Doug or someone else?
Yeah, just tell us what you're going to do. Break the news right now, Scott. It's fine.
Exactly. Hey, guys, here it is. Breaking news. You ready?
Yeah.
Ready. We're waiting.
You ready? I'm going to have some more conversation around this position. Obviously, Doug is someone that I will be talking with more and spending time with. And I'm hopeful to have a decision within the next week or so.
With the draft coming up, obviously, and all of that. Not that we have a first round pick, but that doesn't mean you don't still have a lot of draft stuff to do. It'd be good to have that battery in place. And another thing, Scott, and again,
I want to interject there. Now, can you guys bring a rabbit's foot and when the lottery happens and somehow get us to jump from 13 into the top 4 of the lottery?
I'll do you one better.
That's my only request for you guys.
I'll do you one better.
We can jump into the first round.
I will cross my fingers, throw the salt over the shoulder. I will bring the rabbit's foot, and I might even donate a kidney as long as you can promise us if we get the number 1 pick in the draft, you're taking the kid from Duke. I don't feel like that's breaking news. Wait, Scott, we've had problems with this before.
Hey, obviously I can't comment on that directly, but all I can say is we both recognize good talent.
There you go. There's and I know you're busy. We so appreciate your time. Last thing on this, and of course, again, this is the real world. We're not going to ask specifics, but another big worry for fans is, and I won't even mention player names, but we've had players allude to or out and out say, hey, I need to figure out the direction. I need to talk to the organization. I need to see what the future is. And that was honestly, if I'm being candid, that's one of the things I was most excited about you coming here, Scott, because your reputation is that of being very good with players. I remember the George Hill, Zach Randolph, Vince Carter run. I respect your relationship. So what I'm not going to say is, hey, has XYZ player wanted out? But I will say, how have those conversations gone so far? And are you the guy that, hey, if you want out, I'm going to get you out?
So far, all of my conversations with each of these players has been very positive.
Okay.
I had surface relationships with a number of them, just haven't met them, whether it was through the draft process when I was at other teams. A lot of them obviously have reached out to players they know that I've worked with before. And the energy's been really good, been very positive. They've been very receptive to what I've been talking about. So, so far so good. They know that I'm going to my door is always open. I'm going to be very open, honest, and direct. My job is to do the very best I can by this organization. And while a player has a Sacramento Kings jersey on, we're going to pour everything we have into them. And I used the line yesterday that I want volunteers, not hostages. And so that will be figured out over time. And I've used that line a lot with the players when I talk to them, and all of them have been receptive to that. So, we'll see. Look, life happens along the way. But right now I've been very encouraged by the reception from them, and just talking to these guys seems like a really solid group of players. And they just want to do like so many other athletes do. They want to find a pathway to winning. And I'm challenging each and every one of them to come back better and do things this off season that will enhance our opportunities and chances at winning.
I want to finish our time together by saying, first off, thank you, Scott,
Yes,
and thanks to the Kings for providing you to us. I know we got a chance to hear you yesterday, but I think you would agree, and I'm looking at the numbers right now. We got a ton of people tuned in. There's a very important follow-up conversation. I can tell you this. Hopefully we will talk in the future on this show. We're actually really fun guys. It's not all, these, I promise you, I do. And I would say this, this, but I would repeat it for everybody listening. there are no better fans in the NBA than in Sacramento, and there are no more underserved, wind, if you will, fans in the NBA than the. If you make this work, you will never buy anything here again. You will be an absolute hero. We don't make people do time for past offenses, no matter whose they were. It's a fresh start, and everybody is behind you. And while we were talking, Scott, I realized, because we do want to bribe you to come back on. If I can get an address from our friend Becky, who set this up, I'll get a good address. Jason and I are going to go out and purchase 20 mirrors that we're going to send you, handheld mirrors for everybody to take a look at, because you said that yesterday.
I love it. Please purchase those and get one for me as well too.
You know what? We'll get one.
I'm going to hold myself every bit as accountable as I expect everyone else in this organization to do for themselves, starting with our players.
Well, I'm not pretty like you and Jason, so I avoid the mirror, but we get the point. Appreciate you.
Yes. It's been great, guys, man. I've really enjoyed it and look forward to connecting with you throughout the years, and go Kings.
Go Kings. I like how you said years too.
Yes, I did.
Plural.
Exactly.
Have a great summer, Scott. We'll be talking soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Scott Perry. We're late for a break. We'll come back and we'll break all that down for you. 916-339-1140 is your text line. 1-800-920-1140 is your phone line. You can sound off if you have any other questions or reactions to Scott Perry's comments. And by the way, if you missed any of that, it's available on our YouTube channel. Just search Sacktown Sports. It'll be up momentarily. We'll take a break. We're right back after this.
Stay up to date on Sacramento sports. Join the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit sacktownsports.com.
Your life, your goals, your legacy. With a dedicated Fidelity advisor, it's all part of a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Visit fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
Hey, get in. What? Who are you? I'm future you. Constipation with belly pain still coming back? Yeah. Mia, our doctor figured it out. She said it's irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, and Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
It's Carmichael Dave talking to you about my good friends at American Energy. You're in the Sacramento area. You know how the seasons work. They are a-changing right now. So American Energy wants to help you stay warm for the rest of the cold season, but help you stay cool during the warm season. Best way to do that, make sure your system is operating safely. So right now is the time to take advantage of half off a tune-up, $24.50. They cut that right in half. And if you want a diagnostic, guess what? You can't beat free. If it's free, it's me, and now it can be you. And also, it's the end of the season blowout. $4,000 off a new system plus any rebates. That $4,000, that's a direct drop from the sticker price. It's a great deal. Check them out at theaeway.com or an instant quote, or give them a call at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Tell them your good buddy Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Grab the keys to a new Toyota. From city streets to open highways, Toyota's legendary reliability is built for every road ahead. Right now, get a low-cost lease on a versatile 2025 RAV4 hybrid. Or shop the industry's best lineup of hybrid SUVs with a 2025 Grand Highlander hybrid and stylish 2025 Toyota Crown Signia. Toyota, let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers with premium rated credit. Offers end 4/30/25.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. SubcontractorsUnited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Sacramento, get ready. The Sacktown Sports Live events calendar is packed with epic shows you won't want to miss. Classic rock bands, America takes the stage at Hard Rock Live Sacramento on May 9th. Then hip-hop legend LL Cool J brings the beats to Thunder Valley on May 10th. The Outlaw Music Festival rolls into Toyota Amphitheater on May 18th. And punk pioneers The Dam hit Ace of Spades on May 31st. June heats up with JJ Gray and Mofro at Ace of Spades on June 10th. Plus, country superstars Lee Brice and Walker Hayes at Ironstone Amphitheater on June 21st. Then, it's 3 days of country fun at the Country Summer Music Festival at Sonoma County Fairgrounds on June 27th through the 29th. Get your boots ready for the Folsom Pro Rodeo July 3rd through 5th. Then, catch Cody Johnson at Golden One Center on July 18th and Parker McCollum at Ironstone Amphitheater on August 16th. Mark your calendars, grab your tickets, and don't miss out. Find all the details at sacktownsports.com.
KHD HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
Yep. Scott Perry joined us.
Any way you want it, that's the way you need it.
You need to stop it because I know what you're doing and I don't like it. Because how scale of 1 to 10, how disappointed were you, Chris, that I did not refer to Scott as Steve Perry?
I was happy.
Yeah.
I was happy.
I want him to keep coming on. I don't want you to mess up his name on the first.
Yeah.
I'm not lying about the mirrors, by the way. If we can bribe him to come on the red.
I think we have to bribe him. I think it's going to happen.
I hope so.
Seems like a media savvy person, very kind person.
Yes.
Yeah.
And here's what I'm not
connected.
Here's what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to go from 6:30 in the morning saying press conferences are great, saying things are great. I don't care if you had a good or a bad press conference. We need to see what the results are. That also goes for that interview, but it's all he has, right? Look, here's something people forget. Although I think he did come across a little condescending at times, and we would have that conversation off the air. Pete D'Alessandro was really good with us from a media standpoint. Pete came on whenever. Pete did the in-person Q&A. I could call Pete up and say, hey, man, we have a question. Can you come on in 5 minutes? And he did it every single time. So that's awesome. And Scott, let's just put it this way. Scott so far has done and said everything we pretty much realistically want him to say. Now, listen, if you're expecting Scott Perry to come and be like, I'm the new sheriff in town and no one's going to tell me what to do and I'm firing him and that's not the real world.
Right.
I think what we learned in that interview is what I was hoping we would learn. For example, is he empowered to rebuild? Is he empowered to, is everything on the table and over again? And I thought he put a fine point on it on the follow-up. I'm empowered to do whatever I think is what needs to happen to make this a successful franchise. You can only take the man at his word.
Right.
I'm not going to call him a liar. You start out at, I trust you. And that trust can erode. But right now, not just based on that rule, Jason, but also based on the fact that he does have a sterling reputation around the league as somebody who is highly respected. I'm going to trust the guy. That doesn't mean he's going to do it.
Right.
But I'm not going to as I said at the end of the interview, I'm not going to hold him hostage, and I'm not going to make him do time for past transgressions that he had nothing to do with.
Yeah, and I don't know if, look, again, I think we've said this multiple times about ownership, or really speaking of Vivek here, is he is the owner. Like, I think that voice can be heard, maybe as someone that is writing checks, does own the team. And it makes you wonder, if you go back to Monty, I'm trying to think, Dave, and you could remind me if I'm wrong, but I feel like in the beginning stages of Monty and Wes and that whole group, we heard a lot of I didn't hear reports that was not Monty, or that was not what that front office wanted to do. We heard that more at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's an open-ended invitation, like you have the freedom, and if success keeps going with those decisions, maybe all those things just keep falling in place. But if the boats and waters get choppy, maybe there's less of that, and that's something that we'll have to monitor.
And I think, Jason, I think everybody's going to take this differently. Who is it? Where's my guy here who asked the question? I just saw it. Dave. Oh, Dave, remember how excited you were? That's Mark. Remember how excited you were when the Kings hired George Karl? I think that's actually, I think that's an important question, even if it was, I don't know if Mark was trying to be snarky or not, but I actually think that's an important question, because what we forget is, for example, the Twitter poll I ran that had, I think it was probably the most responses. It was over 10,000 responses. 91% wanted George Karl hired, including me, based largely on the fact that we were smack in the middle of a playoff drought. And George Karl, I think it was, he had made the playoffs in every year he coached, which was a long time. I think he made the playoffs in every year but one. And I think there was also an example, maybe it was Cleveland, I forget who it was, where he took over a team that was like 4-9 and turned them around and made the playoffs. We all, not you, sir, not you, ma'am, but almost everybody was excited about George Karl. I don't know that I've ever told this story before, and if I have, I apologize, but the Kings used to have, I don't know if they still do, a Kings Gala for all the muckety mucks and all that, and I went as a hanger-on with one of my buddies who was a muckety muck, and it was at, I forget whether, it was at the Sawyer, and I go outside for a smoke, and I see Pete D'Alessandro on the phone, and he's in an intense conversation, and he hangs up the phone. I don't think he'd mind me saying this now. He hangs up the phone, comes over, we start talking, and he goes, "Well, you guys got what you wanted." And I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "You know what I mean." And I go, "Well, that's good news, right?" He goes, "It could be." He goes, "Not my call." And the next day, George Karl was hired.
Yeah.
Hindsight is great. You're 100% right. I was excited.
Yeah. Felt like social media got him hired.
Social media got him hired.
Yeah.
In case there's any mystery to it, they were in a PR spiral. They listened to the fans. They hired George. By the way, at the time, it's not like they hired Chris Verlaud. George Karl was a highly qualified Hall of Fame coach who, to be very honest, coming from a guy who's friends with DeMarcus Cousins, when he came in and said nobody's untradeable, I loved that. I still love that. I still think DeMarcus was being a big baby over that. Nobody should be untradeable on a bad team. Nobody. And that just, not that George didn't do his own things to screw things up, but that really kind of doomed him from the beginning. I'll tell you how I feel about Scott Perry. I'm not excited. I'm not optimistic. I'm not over the moon. Here's what I am. He hasn't done any. I am
because of the past.
100% because of the past. And this is Dave. This is not how people should think. This is me. I'm at the point right now where I am so dog tired. I don't have confidence in this franchise, in who's running the franchise. I have seen this repeated time and time and time again. And by the way, to be fair to Vivek, it's not exactly like he took over a championship contender. We've been doing this for a long time.
Right.
I am Missouri. I'm the show me state. Scott Perry has done nothing in the past or so far in 2 press conferences to make me think any less of him or have there be a warning bell go off. but I am 100% in wait and see mode. I am the guy sitting back saying, the floor is yours. I'm crossing my arms. I hope beyond hope you are successful. Let's see what you're going to do. And I'm going to, at the very least, give you the grace to, as long as it seems like you have a plan, to execute that plan. Right. But I'm not the guy that's going to be sitting here going, guys, it's better now. Scott Perry's here or whoever's here. Sorry, Gavin. Here we go. But I hope to God that we look back on today,
which
Jason,
it could be.
And it very well could be, and go, that was the start of something special.
Yeah.
So
that's what the organization is hoping for too.
I think we all are, man. Because I can peg the organization. Wrong word. I can throw my rocks all I want. I will never say, and I will never doubt that the organization from Vivek on down desperately wants a winner.
Right.
They desperately want a winner as much as we do. We just need to figure out how the hell to get there. We'll take a break. When we come back, more reaction, if you will. Just a quick 1 minute break here. And then if we got time here, let's get to some NFL draft as well. John Lynch is in the spotlight. His big hits, his big misses. We'll talk about that next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
When I want to stretch out after a long day, my sofa needs to be comfortable, but it also needs to look attractive and inviting when guests come to visit. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. We spend so much time on our living room sofas that we forget they're a focal point and a hint to our decorating tastes. Right now, during Naturewood Home Furnishings sofa sale, you can save on every sofa, including gallery-exclusive custom-ordered FlexSteel furniture. Whether you're interested in a new sofa, sectional, or recliner, you can choose from hundreds of colors and fabrics. Nobody has more styles and choices than Naturewood Home Furnishings. And when it comes right down to it, it's all about choices and always about quality. Shop Naturewood for the look you love at a price you'll love even more. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable sofa sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel.
Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say.
He's good at what he does.
On Sacktown Sports.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Our guy Ken has been in the chat, and he's been critical, but I think he's as long as you're critical in a respectful way, I welcome it. But one thing he said I would really like to push back on. Sacramento Kings fans will never be happy no matter what. We always find the negative and we dive in deep. Again, my opinion. If there was ever a franchise whose fans deserved to be the most pessimistic in the world, it would be this fan base. There are a lot of things that I can disagree on or that I can agree on, but the one thing I will not, you cannot tell me that Sacramento Kings fans are, whether justified or not, negative. They are the most abused, the most let down, the most underserved fans probably in the world when you compare their level of passion to the level that they've gotten back. Over 40 years, we've basically had 33 that were terrible, give or take a couple of years, and they still sell out.
I would say, though, that they've grown more negative. I'm not saying that they're as a lump sum. No. I wouldn't label it that way.
I would say online is very negative.
For sure.
I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more.
That's a playing game with the Kings down 20 and freaking Keegan has a monster block that really doesn't do anything. the place exploded.
There's a thing that Monty mentioned in our goodbye conversation. He said, we're down whatever, and we go on like a 6-0 run, and the place is going bananas.
Yeah. To Chris's point, I think it was right after. I think there was 9 minutes to go in the game, and they're down 18. So, I mean, the writing's on the wall, but you're hoping, is there one miracle left?
That's right.
Doug McDermott checked in, and it was like, here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go. Inbound, off the screen, catch, shoot. Yep. And it was the anticipation was like, if this goes in, it's happening.
Yeah.
It would have been 15. Yes. But it didn't go in, but then it was like, oh. And I think right after that was Keegan's block. And then he had another shot, and he missed. And it was like, oh. And it got up to like 25. And it's like, yeah, it probably wasn't happening, but people thought it might.
And people hoped.
Yeah.
And to anyone talking about negative energy, or it's gotten more negative, or I would say it's got more critical.
Yeah.
But I would also say
justifiably though.
Yes. Well, I would say this, Jason, you're the most positive, even-keeled, happy, well-leveled person I may know in my entire life. But I'm going to set up a scenario for you. And by the way, phenomenal marriage, lovely family. Your wife might actually be a nicer person than you are, and that's saying something. She is a doll. You come home every day, and I imagine it's like Leave It to Beaver and hugs and kisses and dinner with the fam and J-Man smiling, and everything's amazing.
After the portraits.
After the portraits. Yeah. But I'm going to give you an alternate scenario, okay? And you guys have been married for a while now. Today you come home, and let's just assume she's there every day. You know, today you come home, and she goes, "Hi, Jason," and she kicks you right in the balls. And then you do your thing and whatever. Okay, well, that was weird. You talk it out.
I think we need to add this, that Jason did not like when that happened.
Didn't like it at all. Yes. Rolled around on the ground. Oh, did his whole thing. Why'd you do that?
Which he did not enjoy.
Didn't enjoy it. Okay, fine. Tomorrow, you come home, boot you right in the chicken McNuggets. No. I know that was a weird sound effect. Right in the nuggets, dude.
Okay.
Let's say this continues like 5 more times. 5 days in a row, you come home. "Hi, sweetheart." Thork. Right
in there again.
Right in the dingleberries.
Okay.
At 5 days, point, it's kind of getting funny.
Not for Jason.
Day 6, I purchase a cup.
Day 6, if not sooner, you react in preparation of what you feel is about to come. And I'm just going to guess the drive home isn't as happy as it used to be because you're waiting to get kicked right in the Junkletron. So my point is, let's apply that to Kings fans. Every year, Kings fans are the puppy whacking their tail. "Oh my God, it's a new season. We got a new draft pick. Oh, I'm going to Golden One Center. Oh my God, this is amazing. This is amazing." Bam, right in the nuts. Okay, well, right, yes. Eventually, at some point, the most positive, uplifted, happy, humble fans in the world are going to go out and buy a cup. That's not negative. That's called self-protection. If anything, and I say this as a compliment, if anything, Kings fans and media, and I include us in that, we're too forgiving. We're too tolerant. We don't hold them accountable. We aren't vocal enough. Imagine, I wouldn't want to be these cities. Imagine Philly. Imagine New York. Imagine Chicago with the Kings. Imagine if it was the New York or Philly Kings and you give them the same past 40 years. My God. And I would never want to be that fan base. That's what makes us special. But don't you dare come at Kings fans, online, offline, whatever, be like, "Well, you guys are, we always embrace the negative." You embrace the negative because you've been kicked in the Bears every season since the team got here, with the exception of the occasional, "Okay, well, come on in. We'll give you a mild back rub. Here's some cereal." I can't blame them.
Wow, great analogy there.
Do you like that?
Yeah.
Maybe in 2002 it was here's a nice pork chop.
Yeah.
It's not a steak. Our golden years were losing in the Western Conference. That's us. Our golden years, the top of the pops, was losing in the Western Conference Final. Not the finals, not winning the Western Conference Finals, not taking a team to 7 games. It was attending the Western Conference Finals and losing because the ref screwed us. That's our top. Even that is sullied with an asterisk. We are the optimistic of optimistics.
All right. When's the season start?
I'm so glad Scott Perry's here, and then God knows what else is going to happen. And Doug Christie's finally we're all going to do that. Of course we're going to, and that's fine. I'm going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I can promise you in October, I'm going to be at some level. I say right now, like, I'm going to be Mr. Let's see what happens. Come October, that's going to be me. Wagging the tail, drooling a little bit because I'm so excited. Maybe, hopefully not, maybe a little excited pee. Just a dribble.
Yeah, that sounds like you.
It's a dribble.
Yeah.
All right, when we come back, what to watch, including the draft tonight.
I'm nervous about my drive home.
I don't see it happening.
You put it out there.
I did put it out there. We're back right after this.
The Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter right to your email. Get your latest on the Sacramento Kings, athletics, and Republic FC with the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit sacktownsports.com to join.
Northwest Exteriors wants to keep you cool all season long. Trusted in Sacramento for heating and cooling systems. Book your tune-up today as part of our 30th anniversary special. Call 888-TRUST-NW or visit trustnorthwest.com.
Simply the best. Trust Northwest.
What up, fellow Gen Xers? Elizabeth Banks here. As the original Latchkey kids, we took things into our own hands, like house keys and video game controllers. And now it's time for us to do it again, because the recommended age to get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. We're at over 6 times greater risk compared to adults under 50. So go to Vaxassist.com and schedule. Gen X, this is our shot. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Welcome to Staples.
Hi, I hear Staples prints it all.
Oh, you bet. Posters, banners.
Can you print it all for Mother's Day?
Oh, of course. Photo gifts like canvas prints, photo puzzles.
Can you print it all for graduation?
Sure can. Custom cards and invites.
Can you print a huge banner with the grad's picture?
Oh, definitely.
Even an embarrassing baby picture?
Oh, those are the best kind.
I know, right?
Print it all for moms and grads at Staples. And right now, get 40% off custom cards, invites, and photo gifts. N75 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
What up, fellow Gen Xers? Elizabeth Banks here. As the original Latchkey kids, we took things into our own hands, like house keys and video game controllers. And now it's time for us to do it again, because the recommended age to get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. We're at over 6 times greater risk compared to adults under 50. So go to Vaxassist.com and schedule. Gen X, this is our shot. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
What's going on, world? It's your boy Kevin Hart with some exciting news. I am coming to a city near you. My new tour is called Acting My Age, and I want to see you there. Come out, have a good night, a good time. It's all new material in a much, much more intimate setting. Go get your tickets and head to KevinHartNation.com now.
Comedy superstar Kevin Hart brings his new tour, Acting My Age, to the venue at Thunder Valley on Saturday, April 26th. Tickets on sale now at ThunderValleyResort.com and KevinHartNation.com.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
How can you free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your team and focus on your future. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Get one free set of brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts. Offer in-store only. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Disturbed. Live. Oh, get up, come on, get down with the 25th anniversary of the 5-time platinum album, The Sickness. 2 sets, 1 show, The Sickness in its entirety, and greatest hits with special guests, Daughtry, and Nothing More. Friday, May 9th, Golden One Center. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Disturbed. Live. Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
All right, let's come up with a number. I am a man of my word. That is for sure, unless it involves the chat and doing an in-person show, which we haven't done yet, which I think we will. We actually, I was going to bring that up in the show meeting yesterday about doing our chat breakfast sometime. We said earlier it would be the summer when we do it, so
it's not summer yet.
It's not summer yet. Oh, by the way, that phone conversation we had yesterday, I have a date for you.
Okay.
I have a week for you. Remind me about that. Okay, I found a good deal on Amazon. Jason, do you think this will work? It's a pocket mirror. Okay, so I asked our friend Becky with the Kings to it folds up. And then you open it, and it's a mirror.
I don't know. My visual was like the old, like, holding
hand mirror.
Yeah, like mirror.
Or like the one where you're in jail and you're seeing the new person come in and you're putting it out.
Oh yeah. Is that before or after you're chanting "new fish"? I mean, what are we doing here? That's what they do when, like, have you ever seen Shawshank?
New fish.
No, that's what they do. I've seen the movies. They go new.
Haven't you seen Blood In, Blood Out?
No, and I don't think I want to.
Wow,
that's disgusting. I mean, I've been through. Never mind.
Have you seen Turner and Hooch?
I'm so glad I filtered myself. I just filtered myself. I'm so proud.
That sounds.
I think you're hitting 062 at this point.
On bingo?
No.
No.
Batting average.
Oh, okay. Okay, I get it now. I was going to roll with bingo. How many do you think, because I asked our friend with the Kings to give me a good address. I think that would be a nice welcome present. I was serious about that. I'm going to send Scott.
With a line that says, look at yourself.
How many do you think I order? 20? 15? He said he needs one. Doug needs one.
They have like 95 assistant coaches.
Well, we don't. Whatever.
Okay. Oh, the players then?
Players, coach, Scott Perry. So what is that, 16?
Yeah, you're covered. You're covered with 20.
I was going to say, that's the number I had in my head.
I order him 20 mirrors?
I'm going to order him 20 mirrors, and I'm going to send it to him, CO of the Kings, with a little note that says, hey, thanks for coming on. Welcome back to Sacramento. Good luck. I feel like that's plus we're trying to get this guy on regularly.
Yeah.
We got to do something nice.
Yourself.
Yeah, here you go. Welcome in.
Yeah.
And then he can go
Here's to what's accountability.
Yes. We'll be your accountability buddy.
This is your accountability mirror.
Accountability. Yes. Your accountability mirror. And you know what? After
doggone it, people like me.
But then of course, what happened? You know what? Here's where it's bad. Because like what happens if like we hear like at training camp, like, why aren't the players practicing? Well, they're outside burning ants. Like they're all, oh no, wait, that's a magnifying glass.
Yeah, you can do it with a mirror.
Can you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure that would be all the rave.
Well, hear how stupid I am. That just prompted a memory. I had to be 4 or 5 years old. My mom her engagement ring would when the sun would, or her wedding ring, when the sun would shine, maybe it was her watch. When the sun would shine on it, it would make a little light dot in the car. Dude, she had me for like a year. This little light dot would show up on the ceiling, it would move around, and I would be in the back in my little seat. And the light dot's name was Dottie, which was the same name as my grandmother, her mother, Dorothy. And she had me convinced that it was actually like a real light and I could ask it questions. And my mom would subtly like move her wrist one way for no and the other for yes. Brother, I'm here to tell you, I thought that crap was real, dude. Like I broke it down. And then
You had some serious conversations with Dottie.
100%. Well, to my mom's credit, this is before iPads and stuff. She had to find a way to keep the stupid mouthy kid. Imagine me as a child. Keep the mouthy kid in the back from freaking out with all his stuff.
What's your Mount Rushmore, Dottie?
Right, yes.
Everyone hold your breath. We're going over a bridge.
What?
It's a thing.
What?
A tunnel. I thought it was a tunnel.
Oh, is it a tunnel?
Yeah.
I've heard a bridge.
John says players won't come on 11:40 if they know you sent mirrors for them. Well, then we don't. Guess what? We're not going to hold hostages to the. What did he say? We want volunteers, not hostages.
Yeah.
I'll take a couple Kings hostages.
It's going to get real here.
It's ever here to go, Chris.
155 fries. 55.
All right, Keegan, nice and easy. Everyone's friends and no one gets hurt.
John Lynch is busy. I'll say personing the phones. It's 2025 tonight for the NFL draft. Jason, you've taken the time, and this deserves our attention. John Lynch's. Hey, it's John Lynch's greatest hits.
Yeah.
2 CDs, 3 cassettes, and 1 8-track
For $99.99.
$99.99. Here's how to order.
Georgia House.
John Lynch hits include George Kittle, Fred Warner, Deebo Samuel, Nick Bosa, Brandon Ayuk, Juwan Jennings, Dre Greenlaw, Colton McKivitz, Brock Purdy, and more.
And so much more.
Not included in the greatest hits. Trey Lance.
Yeah, it was on the bad album.
Could have had Micah Parsons, Justin Fields, Jalen Waddle. You put one down here, and I agree and disagree with you. Obviously, you're right, but in 2017, could have had TJ Watt, could have had my guy, Budda Baker, which was I prescient? Did I know Budda Baker was going to be amazing? I had an idea. He was very good in college. 100% of the reason I wanted to pick him was because of his name.
Yeah.
Budda Baker just sounds.
It's a winning name.
It's just 100% a winning name, yeah. Budda Baker. Pick Reuben Foster. I will say this. I forgive John Lynch for that. You can only do so much on the psych meter. And yes, he did have issues in college. There are a ton of there are a lot of all pros right now that also had issues in college.
True.
There are a ton of players that turned out amazing that had really bad. Joe Mixon comes to mind. Look up what he did in college. We could have a whole show on it. Reuben Foster, if he was right in the head, I am convinced would have been an all-pro. He was a flipping stud. He just wasn't right.
Right.
It just as from a personal, and I hope he's found whatever help he needs to figure it out because, yeah. But Reuben Foster was like the one that got away. because I really think he could have been a phenomenal player. Dante Pettis in 2018 could have had DJ Charton, Cortland Sutton.
Yeah,
sorry. Michael Gallup.
Yeah.
Also,
couple of the receivers.
Can I just say Michael Gallup from our name pool should have been so much better. Michael Gallup as a receiver.
Yeah.
It's like Jonathan Brickfoot. You don't want to draft him as a wide receiver. Michael Gallup,
kicker though.
Kicker would be fine.
Yeah.
So he's here tonight on the clock. And the one thing I will say about John, and it's just a fact, is he has had some bombs. Like he really has had some. The Trey Lance thing, for example, that's pretty much a fireable offense. But where John has saved himself and acquitted himself nicely, boy, does he find a lot of talent late in the draft, middle rounds.
Might even be better there than everywhere else.
Oh, I think he's I think if you were to somehow weight it as, okay, well, first round you get X points, but as you find more starting talent, you get more points the later it goes. John Lynch's score by far gets better, as first round's probably his worst score, to be honest with you. But he figures it out, whether it's, a guy like George Kittle, Fred Warner, and of course Brock Purdy is the one we all talk about.
And I already forgot the stat from that year that Trey Lance went that high. Aren't all those quarterbacks already on different teams?
Sure are.
It's crazy.
Sure are. Mac Jones. Yeah, all of them are. God, it has just been such a hit or miss. Quarterbacks are so valuable. And if you can get yourself one that is good, you're going to have them under team control. The Niners not winning a Super Bowl while paying their quarterback at that level, at the level Brock Purdy's at, paying that dude $900,000. You got to win. Honestly, they should have won 7 Super Bowls in 3 years. That's how much of an advantage they had.
Yeah, just missed.
Now he's getting that Toyota money.
Right.
Good luck. So, draft tonight, round 1 starts at 5 p.m. Game 3 of another series you and I are enjoying. Knicks in Detroit at the Pistons. That's going to be a fun crowd too. They want themselves some playoff basketball. Nuggets Clippers. This whole series so far has been phenomenal. And then Thunder Grizzlies. Yeah, the Thunder are probably going to take care of business, but it will be very interesting to see how the crowd. Is early on.
It's the Grizzlies' last chance here, really. I mean, if you lose game 3, I think they're in trouble anyway, but if you lose game 3, it's just...
See you later, skater.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thunder at Grizzlies.
Thunder by...
Oh, so you're just assuming it's the Thunder.
Yeah, Thunder by 7.5.
Chris Lied. Thunder at Grizzlies.
Thunder...
Sorry.
15.5.
Whoa. I admire the thought process. Jason gets the win here. Thunder 9.5. No. I tend to actually agree. Yeah. I feel like when was the last time they even won a game by less than 10 points?
Forever.
March. Yeah. We'll take a break. Crosstalk with our friend Alan Stiles, celebrity birthdays, as we wrap up the show next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Hey everybody, Kyle Draper here from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Business owners. Hey, listen up, you business owners. Looking for ways to maximize your earnings while keeping costs low? Then you need to go talk to my friends at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. They offer a full fleet of service vans for all your business needs. Plus, right now, they offer super low rates and great deals on their Sprinter vans and e-Sprinter vans. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton understands the needs of your business in today's market, and they're ready to help you right now. Who wouldn't want to save money? But their vans aren't just for businesses. Because they are fully customizable, you can use them for your everyday needs. They're great for the morning carpool or a night out on the town, and summer is right around the corner. Road trip, anyone? They offer the space and comfort you need to make your summer trip epic. So make the short drive down on 5 and go see my friends at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton and tell them Drape sent you. Or go online anytime at mbfstockton.com.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-444-2013. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-444-2013. That's 800-444-2013 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-444-2013. 800-444-2013.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Come check out Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Plenty of well-lit parking available, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. And remember, Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things. And now, here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Yeah! All right. Way to go. I like this.
I like this.
I like the color combo today, Alan. Yeah. Turn his you're on.
Hello.
There you go.
There we go.
There he is.
There you go. Yeah. Hey, how you doing today, Alan South?
Great.
Yeah. What'd your wife say?
That's a little Cajun right there.
What'd your wife say when you asked her?
About what?
Wow. Doesn't even remember. I'm not even doing a bit of a joke, I promise. What are you doing this Saturday night?
Oh, yeah.
The PA gig?
Now I
wow.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
No, you know what? It was
Uh-huh.
it was the kid's birthday.
Hey, happy birthday.
We were park hopping.
Yeah.
Not bar hopping, park hopping.
Either one. Kid sleeps better if you bar
Yeah,
hop.
so you literally had no time to talk to him.
None at all.
No.
So busy.
I mean, yeah, today, well, I'll see, but it's the NFL draft.
Yeah, I do. Right. I know. There's a lot to do.
We got to replay Scott Perry.
No. It's not Alan's fault, Dave. It's our fault.
How so?
Because we suggested Alan.
Yeah, you're right.
You were supposed to text me the name. I don't have the name in front of me.
I don't
there was
want to.
There's no follow up. I'm in the middle of trying to start my show.
I'm purposely.
We're trying to help you out. You're like, oh, you're not following through. You're not giving me enough
You're not
info.
following up on anything.
We're trying to give you. You're working. You're doing stuff at the River Cat.
Yeah.
You're marshaling ceremonies. You're emceeing everything.
Ceremonies.
I don't know. You're trying to get out there.
Mastering.
Here we are. I had a friend say, "Hey, do you know know anyone. And I go, I know a pretty
You
talented
do, but
guy.
we got to follow up here.
I didn't know I was your agent. Jeez.
Are we getting
around.
a percentage of this?
Yeah.
We're eating at BJ's last night.
Well, that's a personal question.
My kid's favorite place.
Okay,
Alan, if you don't want to do it, just say no.
And that's the thing. I don't want to tell you what it is again.
I'm eating Pizookie. I'm supposed to remember.
Does it matter what team it's for? I mean, it's a PA gig.
No, I'm
Are you
just
too
trying. I
good
need more information.
It's a PA job.
I need information on the Pizookie.
We just got the normal one.
A normal?
Yeah.
Chocolate chip?
Chocolate chip.
Vanilla
I wanted the
ice cream?
Snickers one, but it wasn't my birthday.
Anyone else ever buy?
It's not my birthday.
Anyone else ever buy Pizookie pans on Amazon?
That would be
I've never had a Pizookie.
Come on, man. First Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Now Pizookie.
How would Kyle? I thought about this yesterday. I'm so glad you brought it up. It really. How did we not drill down more? How did Kyle, who used to live, well, I guess living in San Diego doesn't matter. Taco Bells are everywhere. How did he never have Taco Bell?
Because he is a Mexican food snob. Because he lives in San Diego. So I have so many taco shops. Why would I?
Put two thumbs down. Turn your mic on.
Yeah,
He's over
turn
there,
your
thumbs
mic
down
on.
again.
You love it?
Yeah, you loved
Alan's
it.
just lying.
Okay,
here.
then
I'm not
why
lying.
Just slandering my name
Fine.
by saying I'm
Defend
just purist
yourself.
and snob about
Defend
Taco
yourself
Bell.
in 30 seconds or less. Why have you not had Taco Bell until you're whatever 19 years old or wherever you are?
When I was a kid, the closest Taco Bell was like 15 minutes from my house. And like, if you wanted to go get Mexican food, there's like 6 taco shops down the road from where you live.
That makes sense.
You just gotta. You went to college, right? I thought.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Sort of.
How do you not?
That's
you're
what I'm
a college
saying,
kid. Taco
Is there a
Bell.
Taco Bell in Davis?
There is one.
Yes.
Taco Bell, Davis. Yeah, maybe not. I don't know. That's just. I mean.
Yeah. See, he.
Yeah, Taco Bell needs to be like 5 minutes in your area. You can't just. You're not traveling.
I will.
Taco Bell.
Once a year, I'll probably seek out a Taco Bell.
I'm just. Yeah. I mean, just through
That sounds
road
good right
trips and traveling,
Opportunity.
you run into
Taco
a
Bell's
Taco
a tough in the car food.
What do you not run into? You're gonna run into a Taco Bell, right? You might not run into a Carl's Jr.,
Has Alan driven his car through a Taco Bell before?
but you'll run into a Taco Bell.
That's enough of the microphone, Kyle. Yeah, I don't. Wow, interesting.
You'll run into a Taco Bell.
I
Where won't you run into?
Well, I'm just thinking because I see more Carl's Jr.'s in my area than Taco Bells, but I guess that just depends on where you
Too
live and what's
expensive.
going on. I hear you.
I haven't
Which
been
one?
Carl's Jr. in years.
The
and
AI
I loved Carl's Jr.
It's great. And the AI Carl's Jr. is the one by. It's not by my house. But it's on the
Hardee's?
way home. No, Carl's Jr. We're
Shut
not.
up.
We're not in Ohio.
That's what they call it in Pennsylvania.
I like Hellman's mayonnaise and Ed's ice cream. Ugh.
What's Ed's?
Ed's is Dryers.
Is it?
Yeah.
Hardee's?
Hardee's is Carl's Jr. East.
It's the same idea. But Kyle had
Hey, honestly, it's a better menu.
Hardee's.
It's a better menu.
What's different?
So it's not the same menu?
It's mostly the same, but they have Hardee's unique things.
Oh.
Yeah. You know what they don't have, though? Fried zucchini. And that's a big thing for me. And it's the only place you can get as a Carl. Shockingly, you can't get fried zucchini at Jack in the Box, which you
They
can
have
get everything else.
Yeah.
You can get teriyaki bowl.
Yeah.
I once
Teriyaki bowl.
witnessed my friend order 2 egg rolls, teriyaki bowl, and a cheesecake and mozzarella sticks.
From
Jack in the Box.
No
Where
tacos?
else?
No tacos?
I'm pretty sure
You can tell the type of mood he was in.
I'm pretty sure those teriyaki bowls are literally just the Uncle Ben's rice bowls.
I mean, whatever works. And honestly, Jack in the Box is definitely the ADD of fast food places. Like they have no idea what everything's on the menu.
Yeah.
Also,
They know what they're doing.
but well, I was just gonna say, but the one thing I will say, and by the way, I'm good with Jack in the Box. I just applaud the fact that they've done everything. They've done everything up to the point of saying, "We know you smoke weed. We know you do. You're high right now. You're going to be high later."
Here's some French
Aren't they
toast
open
sticks.
for?
Yeah.
They just don't close.
24 hours. Here's the Snoop Dogg.
I went there one time at like 12:30, and they're like, "Oven's not working," and I'm like,
Well, then
"Are you serious?"
then turn off the lights.
Yeah, I hate that.
I hate that too. When the light's on, it says open, and you go through the drive-thru, and finally somebody goes, "So we're closed."
Nobody's home.
Bro, turn the lights off then.
You know where you don't run into Arby's.
No.
You're not gonna. You might see an Arby's, but you're not. You're not gonna run into an Arby's
too
like
expensive.
you run into a Taco
Way
Bell.
too expensive. I made my own Arby's over the weekend. As a matter of fact, I did. It's very easy. Kaiser roll, right? Kaiser roll. You know those little jars of Tostitos queso. Throw that in the microwave. You ever get like a thing of like Hillshire Farms or whatever, the roast beef? You know, in the
That's
pot.
right.
Yeah,
slice.
So it's so simple. You take a pan, you put some water in there, you put 2 little beef bouillon cubes in till they dissolve, heat it up. Then you peel the thin slices of the roast beef, put it in there with some tongs just until the water gets hot, right?
Yeah.
Then put it in a strainer, throw that sucker on the warm Kaiser roll, pour the cheese on top. It's better than any, I sound like Eddie Murphy's mom in Delirious, but it's better than any barbecue you can get or beef and cheddar you can get. Cheaper too. Made 3 of them.
Can you text me that recipe?
I happily can. Hey,
Yeah, just like my information.
Celebrity Birthdays brought to you by our good friends at Crumble Cookies. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Who's on the clock? Hey, it's Crumble Cookies with the #1 pick in the cookie draft. Back to you.
Happy birthday.
Timely and topical.
To Kelly Clarkson.
Here we go. No, that's Steve Perry.
Any way you want it, that's the way you need it.
Kelly Clarkson is 42?
No. Yeah. Her show's been around. 45.
American Idol winner.
I want to say 48.
Dave is the closest, 43.
Oh, sorry.
Really?
Sorry.
By the way, for all of you on the chat saying the Arby's sauce is what you can get Arby's sauce like I did at Arby's.com. Just a plug. You can actually, or you can get the stupid horsey
just
sauce.
left that out like you went everything from scratch.
I got a thing of Arby's sauce at home because it is other than.
I think they've got it at the store.
Other than they absolutely do. But other than Carl's Jr. Ranch dressing, it's the best one with Del Taco Mount sauce. We need to do a Mount Rushmore of fast food.
All right,
back to you.
I am putting a list of summer talking points.
There you go. Sorry, Jason.
How long is the list?
It's pretty long. Not long enough. That's what she said.
Birthday to Barbara Streisand.
Yentl. I don't think that's a song, but it's a movie. Remember Yentl? Yeah. Babs.
Beaches.
You said beach?
This is beaches?
Okay.
Beaches.
I beg your pardon.
Arby's sauce. Arby's.com.
Oh, hold on a second.
She's not in it.
She's not in beach. That's Bette Midler, you idiot. That took me a second. Babs is she's 79.
82.
77.
Alan is closest, 83.
Wow. You
Happy
don't bring
birthday
me flowers.
or to Cedric the Entertainer.
Oh. I'll explain after the show. Said.
Love said.
64.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
63.
62.
Chris is closest, 61. Chipper Jones.
Larry
Jones.
Larry Jones. The old chipster. 46.
Now that's a third base.
That's a third base.
That's
a third.
That's when baseball was really played.
Played that hot corner.
That's right. It was sizzling.
Yeah.
What'd you say? 46?
Yeah.
You know what they say about baseball players? He's 49.
54.
Chris is closest, 53.
Yep, gotta go older.
And let's go with.
You thought he was younger than you?
What are you talking about? That's older than me.
Slick fielding Omar Vizquel.
Now that's a shortstop.
62. No.
60.
No. Hey, Verlon.
54.
Alan's closest, 58.
Okay. What's coming up in the show today other than repurposing our content?
We will for sure do that. Not
The
till
Arby's conversation?
Not till 1 o'clock. Yeah. We're also getting to some big news as far as the coaching staff for the Kings and whether they will go in the direction of where they currently are at or moving in a different one. And we finish our off-season, our end-of-season grades.
What are they going to do? Tell me right now. Okay, we got a break. Alan Styles coming up next. Bye-bye.
Domantas Sabonis plays here.
He finds Sabonis. Put the frosting on the cake. Put the cherry on the sundae. Sabonis with a two-hand flush makes it 114-106.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings. business, your life, your goals, your legacy. With a dedicated Fidelity advisor, it's all part of a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Visit fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
It's Carmichael Dave talking to you about my good friends at American Energy. You're in the Sacramento area. You know how the seasons work. They are a-changing right now. So American Energy wants to help you stay warm for the rest of the cold season, but help you stay cool during the warm season. Best way to do that, make sure your system is operating safely. So right now is the time to take advantage of half off a tune-up, $24.50. They cut that right in half. And if you want a diagnostic, guess what? You can't beat free if it's free, and now it can be you. And also, it's the end of the season blowout. $4,000 off a new system plus any rebates. That $4,000, that's a direct drop from the sticker price. It's a great deal. Check them out at theaeway.com or an instant quote, or give them a call at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Tell them your good buddy Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
I was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean when it happened. There was a sudden jolt and our submarine crashed on the seafloor. We were in total darkness.
That's Dr. Dejana Figueroa, a marine biologist and STEM teacher, talking about a deep sea dive she'll never forget.
It's funny, when I was a kid, I was afraid of the ocean. And there I was, 2 miles below the surface. But as a scientist, you prepare for that. Using our training and a little creativity, we fixed the sub and finished our experiments. The dive was just too important. Every dive gives us glimpses at things few people ever get to see. Glowing creatures, fiery undersea volcanoes. When we got back to the surface, I kissed the ground and called my mom, of course. But you know what? I wouldn't trade that dive for anything.
Dr. Figueroa uses her passion for STEM to discover new things and make the world a better place. She can STEM, so can you. Check out She Can STEM for more stories and inspiration. A message from the Ad Council.
Sun is shining, the chairlifts are spinning. That's right, stellar weather here at Palisades. What are you waiting for? Hop in your Toyota and head on up here. I'm Johnny Mosley, and this is your Thursday Toyota Tahoe Report.
Thanks, Johnny. Mostly sunny today with a high of 57. Tonight, clouds will roll in with a low around 38. And tomorrow, a chance of showers with a high near 51. And snow levels of 6,800 feet. This report is brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
For beginning golfers, not getting into bad habits gives you a much better chance of enjoying the game and shooting lower scores. John Howells in Golf Monthly says these mistakes should be avoided. First, know your club distances. Take your yardages not from your best or worst shot, but somewhere in the middle. And no dancing allowed. Swaying in the backswing is a common fault, which forces you to compensate in the downswing. Mastering impact. Trust the loft on the club face and don't try to lift the ball. Club face control. For right-handers, take care to set the perfect grip with 2 V's between thumb and forefinger pointing to your right shoulder. Bunker shots. Many struggle here because they fail to open the club face before hitting the shot. Turn the club before you take your grip. And finally, learn how to read greens and hole more putts. Even on a miss, putts that miss above the hole offer more chance of holding the putt. Now go out and have some fun. That's your golf. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
The IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship is back for another thrilling season at Monterey's iconic WeatherTech Raceway Laguna